pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess. What's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine, from pain it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess. What's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine, from pain it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess. What's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine, from pain it's a blessing. blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep, move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep, move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess. What's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep, move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep, move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess. What's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep, move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him.
Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another transfer watch on Chelsea Perspective. We have about 4 days or 3 and some hours left before the transfer window shuts. And today we're going to look at the crowd of players that are, categorized. You could call them Chelsea Football Club transfer targets. We're going to look at them one by one and then come to conclusion which of them it's still possible to arrive at the club. We know we're close to finalizing the signing of Wesley Fofana from Leicester City. Auba's case, we're not quite sure what's going on there. Contact were made with the what's his name? The Crystal Palace guy, and also Gordon. We'll talk about we'll talk about the young, so to speak. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show, people. Yes, people, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to another Blue Morning show, specifically Chelsea Transfer Watch show. Again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, but more importantly, Blue Morning to you. I hope you're all doing well, and I really do mean that. As it is a tradition on Chelsea Perspective, I will start by going through the chat to see the people that are already there. And again, first of all, my apologies to my friend, again, Phantom, because he had the first comment there saying he was the sixth to like it, but because the show was delayed and I had to change the timing, it wipes up everything. So again, but Phantom, that's a Europa League level. But that's, by the way, I have Liam Lane, the captain of the house. He's able to make it today. He had a family stuff that he had to attend yesterday. He says, again, a blue morning, Kachila, panel and chat. Blue morning to you too, Liam Lane. I hope you're doing well. Abhinav says hi. Always one of the first to arrive here. Abhinav, I hope you're doing well. And here we have again. Abhinav says the Russian player needs to have a change of citizenship to Armenia for a complete transfer. Where did you get that from? I don't think that is really necessary. We're allowing our politics to dictate what happens. In a beautiful round letter game called football. We shouldn't. Even FIFA shouldn't allow that to happen. Again, tell me, Abhinav, I really do want to know where that story is from, because I'm concerned if global events such as that dictates what we do in football, again, then the game is being taken away from us gradually. But that's, by the way, Abhinav, nice to see you. I hope you're well. And he will be on loan. Maybe the club sees him as maybe he's too young. I'd say, yeah, let him stay on loan there, since he's doing quite well there. And again, our brother here from Iran, Mahdi114, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for finding time to join us again today. Michael Ebukawane, and thanks to all my Igbo brothers here. I appreciate you always finding time to support a brother. A morning, Blue family, morning to you too, Michael Ebuka. I hope you're doing well. A good question. That's the same question I asked. I don't know. Again, we shouldn't allow politics to dictate what we do in our beloved game. Again, it should be independent of politics, so it's enjoyable. No, we don't need any such, you could say, external influence on the beautiful round-letter game called football. Greetings to all the members again. Abdu Yassine, Okelo, greetings to you too. I hope you're doing well. Terence Gotza, any news about Fofana? I am from. Oh my goodness! This my brothers testing me with the flags. Is that Ethiopia? Is that Kenya? I'm not sure. But you let me know what flag is that. Again, I'll start to learn all of them by first. Now, again, any letters on Asen again, Zachary. I haven't seen anything that I can say I trust on it, but some members in the chat have provided some update. We're hearing from Abinav that he needs to change his citizenship to Romania to make the transfer easier. But where that comment doesn't make sense is the fact that we're hearing, okay, after that he has to stay on loan. So why in a rush to change his citizenship? So I'm not sure what's going on there. But that's, by the way, again, PJ Artist, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you here. Again, everybody in the chat, please do let me know how you're doing. I really do want to know. 1 second, let me see. Anybody else that I haven't said hello to here? This is Omar Kebe. Hi, Blue Family. How to you too, Omar? I hope you're doing well. Please do let us know. Again, I appreciate all of you finding time to join the show today. Again, as you're arriving, like the stream to help us reach more people, because the more you like the stream, the more people will be able to reach, and the more people we'll have here, the more fun the show will be. Again, anyone know the news with Auba? We'll talk about Auba in a bit. We have that lined up. What's the news with the Aubameyang guys? Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. La Liga has made the Auba deal complicated. That may well be the case, but I've been stuck in Auba since that time, and I haven't seen anything change. Again, I will send a link to the panelists in a bit. Just some stuff I think it's necessary that I address alone. Bring people in as soon as possible. Barca registered Kunde now. They don't have to sell any players. I think because of the financial burden, having all of those players registered again puts on them, will force them. They still need to sell a few players. They need to reduce their salary, their wage bill. They need to do that, even though they've been able to register Kunde. If they don't sell some players, they still have issues again. So they have to sell. Limit, let's say, a good day to all in the chat. Good day to you too. I hope you're doing well. Abhinav says, Zaha, yep, I heard we'll make contact with his camp. We'll see what happens. And he's made himself available according to some sources. How, again, legitimate that is, I don't know. Says again, Fofana going for medical in the United States. Barkley is concerned about his last injury. I wouldn't be concerned about that. Again, that may well not be the case. There's a chance that the whole thing you're hearing there are just people making up, just people, fabricating or just making up stories. Given that first we heard that that the first part of his medical will be completed yesterday. So I don't think it makes any measure of sense to say he would be traveling to the United States for his medicals. Again, it doesn't make any sort of sense. How are you going to make the player feel if you're showing clearly that you're concerned about his last injury, which we know is a broken leg, and we've learned that a broken leg, once it's healed, it becomes even more stronger. So why would that be an issue? So I just don't. I don't understand, and I'm not going to fall for that one. So let the media twist it all they want. All I know is that Fofana is coming to us as soon as possible. I think if we're in fact really, if the club are in fact really concerned about the last injury, they wouldn't even come to the level at which we are right now in the process of signing the player. So that is something I don't trust. Philip Smith, how are you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. My Indian brother, nice to see you here. Philip Smith says, good morning, coach. I have to say, if Chelsea signs Zaha, I might have to consider leaving my club. I've supported this club about 45 years. Can you tell me why? There's nothing wrong in us signing Zaha. His Premier League proven, his record in the Premier League you can say it's good enough. He's done better than most of the players we have at the club. And that's not me exaggerating. You can look it up yourself. But that's, by the way, maybe when we talk about him, then I will show his statistics on the screen so that, what they say, numbers don't lie. And I'm a firm believer of that phrase. But that's, by the way, Fofana in the US for part of his medical. So he's completed the first part in England. The second part is going to be completed in the US. So I don't know where the rumors are coming from that Chelsea are concerned. This is the normal thing to do. When you're signing a player, if you've come to an agreement with the selling club, again, the medical is a necessity. It must be completed for the whole process to be, deemed, complete. So again, any updates on Auba? We will get to that in a bit. Mitzi Shetty, we will look at it in a bit. Good afternoon to you, Emmanuel Obedan. Good afternoon to you. And guys, please, as you're coming in, and I want all the mods to talk about that more so I can spend time on, going through what we have rather than returning every 2-5 minutes asking people to subscribe to the channel. Please keep subscribing and also keep liking the video as you arrive. Let us, the likes go a long way. The likes are very helpful for the channel. So thank you very much. Again, Cam's saying it's a Zimbabwean flag. Is it the one that has a shield and an arrow? Let me know if that's the case so I don't forget it anymore. I hope I don't. I will be disappointed if I do. I've said it's hard to register, again, Ukrainian players right now. But then the Chelsea senior communications manager refused to comment further. It's a 50-50 situation. I think we'll still get the player. Chimones says, hello, guys. Keep the blue flag flying high. Yes, thank you very much for saying that, Okemdia. I appreciate you joining us today. And here we have, why don't we get Arthur of Juventus if the young is hard? Again, I think he's an upgrade to Jorginho. The question is, does the manager want Arthur? That's the argument. Again, Abdullahi, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. So that's important. Whenever we're calling for the club to sign a certain player, it's important that we ask ourselves the question whether the manager wants the player, whether he fits, he's forced into the category of profile of players that the manager wants to structure, the team for his current project. Again, blue flags always up. Yep, big up to my brother CFC OG. Nice to see you, bro, man. Again, whenever you have time, share the link to your channel so people can go check it out. I appreciate you finding time to join. I said, again, I will leave the club if Chelsea signs Zaha. Again, that's a decision you're taking for yourself. I'd welcome him. I'll be honest with you. I welcome him. He's a good player, and I think he'd do well with us. Plus, he'd be surrounded with much better set of players, crop of players, if you prefer, than that he has at Crystal Palace. Yeah, so that's that link. Yep, I've done that, Bobby. Again, and I'm gonna welcome CFCOG to the house. You still on vacation, man?
Yes, man.
Okay, don't tell me more. Don't tell me more. Don't tell me. Don't get me jealous. Okay, big up, brother. Nice to have you here again. Whenever you have time, share the link to your channel. I think what you have to do, I'm going to check, I'll show you how I do the credentials for any content creator that come onto the channel so that I can add it to the description section. It's not, I need some link. We'll talk about it later. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it says, again, I am backing whoever Tuchel once. It's as simple as that. That's how I see it too. Tommy Tuchel's birthday today. Yes, by the way, take a second if you haven't, say happy birthday to our to our manager Thomas Tuchel. I think he's a brilliant football mind, tactically and otherwise he's good. He took us to how many finals? 6 finals in just over a year. And again, that's brilliant. That's not easy. 6, yeah, and that's without with players that he didn't sign. 99.9% of them he didn't sign them all. Again, but that's, by the way, Chelsea is the best club. Thank you. Bank Paul, thank you for saying that. That's a brilliant thing to say. Again, Chelsea are calling their interest in Aubameyang. I don't think that's the case. It could still happen. Let's say 50-50 for now. There are situations situations complicating the whole thing. It's not his doing. It's not the club's own doing. I would bet the report on Zachariah is that Arian is not true. I cannot understand how he could be asked to change passport and then be loaned back to the same club. So it just doesn't make sense. Is the media the slightest of information they see that would get people clicking on what they have out there? They pounce on it, and that's not an exception there. Good day, how's Kennedy Ebel? Nice to see you. Good day to you too. Good for you. Again, I think I'm gonna just go to the panel. I think I've said hello to everybody in the chat, and if I missed saying hello to you, apologies. I will try to get to your subsequent comments in the chat. Again, a big up to everyone on the panel. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm gonna start with a CFC OG. Let's look at the crowd of targets we have here because it's a crowd. Let's forget about Fofana. I think that one is done and dusted, if you ask me. In my opinion,
I like the Zaha one. I like the image. Did you make that yourself?
Which one? Oh yeah. You know, Photoshop. Yeah. Thank you, but that's by the way. Again, we have Zaha, Aubameyang, Gordon, and De Jong. To you, which of them do you think will still happen?
I think it's going to be Aubameyang and Zaha, and we're going to have the sharp African spear. You know, even though Raheem's son is Jamaican, you know what I mean. But it's going to be three there, like Zaha, Aubameyang, Raheem. Oof. Honestly, that does give me goosebumps. I'm not even joking, bro. That's a deadly attack.
Yeah, so you sure you think we're still going to pull up the Zaha, Dale, and Aubameyang?
Yeah, I mean, Aubameyang, I think Barcelona see it as free money, which it literally is. So they'll do it. They're just trying it on the last day, which if you watch All or Nothings, you see they've done it on a few people. So they're good at the last day. But Zaha, I think after that last loss, he must be telling Vieira, like, I can't do this no more. And Vieira's not a dick. Like, he's not going to keep him there. He's not that kind of guy. He'll let his guy go on to bigger, better places. As for De Jong, he's got personal issues. And Gordon, I mean, he looks good in blue already. He's playing well in the Premier League, but that just means it costs more money. So I don't think we're going to get him.
But there's no way to tell if what we're hearing that they want 80 is true. And I'd only be concerned if we pay 80 for him. I have to be honest. At 60, I wasn't really concerned. But if it goes up to 80, no. 80 are usually for proven players in most cases. I think he's just right now. All you could talk about is his potential. He hasn't. You can't say he's achieved that much to be worth 80 million. But then again, we've learned that the media always run with whatever they see. With the Fofana deal, the rumors were we're going to pay a world record fee. It ends up not being a world record fee. That mantle still belongs to Harry Maguire of Manchester United. But that's, by the way, again, I'm going to go to IBZ again. I like it. This is a stage of the transfer market where, you know, it's fun. It can be tiring, but it's fun. So IBZ, welcome to the panel, brother. How are you doing? Again, your thoughts. Which of these players do you still think can still get? You know, you could say the Fofana deal is almost done. But from Zaha, Aubameyang, Gordon, and De Jong, which of them, in your opinion?
Good morning. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? I'm very good.
We're good.
To be honest, coach, I don't know. I don't know. It's very close. Don't know. It's very, very hard. Obviously, this Fofana deal took nearly a month. Let's say a month and a bit to get done. I don't see Anthony Gordon or Frenkie de Jong. No, I don't even see Aubameyang anymore. I'll probably see the realistic choice would be Zaha, but again, I don't know how that's going to be done. So if you ask me, I think we're done with our business, which is fine. I'm okay with the realistic top six. So I just think it's for fun. Unless we do a madness with transfer Harry Redknapp type deadline day.
Harry Redknapp or Aubameyang?
Yeah, like, you know, that Harry Redknapp type deadline day madness where he's everywhere at once. I don't see it. I've never been. As a Chelsea fan, I've never been in a transfer deadline day circus. I'm used to getting the business done. So I don't know how it's going to get done in 4 days. If bids aren't really been made now, I don't see it. I don't see it, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. We move, but it's hard. It's hard to get what 1, 2, 3, 4 targets on your screen done in 4 days. Nah, man, that's wishful. It's optimistic, very optimistic. But I'll just be realistic and say I think we're just going to get the one, probably just the one, and that'll be it. I don't see it going any further.
Here's the thing. Again, I've followed this the transfer window long enough to see there are players who don't expect the club to bring in, and then deadline day. I think somebody gave an example. SCN, one of them. I don't remember the other names he mentioned. I can't say if the club really wants a player, they'd still get him over, even if they started talking with the selling club 2 days or even the day before. We've seen that happen before. Again, but that's, by the way, I get your argument. Again, how about you, Bobby? Your thoughts? Do you think we'll still bring in any of these, which includes Zaha, Aubameyang, Gordon, and De Jong? Because with the rumors are the club are still pushing for this, especially I think Zaha is an alternative. If that's the case, if the Aubameyang deal falls through, the club will go for Zaha, and he's made himself available. We're hearing, and his camp has been since been contacted. But which of these players do you think will get in?
First of all, I'm wondering, I think you've put everybody's maths out because you've posted 4 days left and there's actually 3 days left.
3 days and some hours.
And, sorry?
3 days and some hours.
Less than 3 days because all you've got is today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. After that, you're done.
Wednesday, what date is one day? The date isn't it
Wednesday's
until
the
the
31st.
September 1st?
No,
well,
deals must be done by September 1st.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
That is the
31st
deadline.
is your
So it's
deadline,
3
yeah.
days. Anyway, that aside, it's very short. I don't know. This has been a weird transfer, full stop. Ultimately, everything boils down to money. I'm not sure that Zaha, if he is a target, is an alternative to Aubameyang. It will make more sense, really, having a strike force. I think what Zaha is an alternative to Ziyech. And then, a Zaha, Aubameyang.
No, I'm just saying Zaha in terms of numbers, not because he's a striker.
Well, I don't know. Where I become interested is if we have him, Aubameyang, and Sterling, and then you throw Broja into the mix. I think that's very interesting. It's quite an unusual strike force. My concerns with Zaha have always been in what he did in Man United. I don't look at what he's done at Crystal Palace. And he didn't really do much at Man United.
No, at United, you can say he was just a prospect at United, Bobby.
Whatever the reason,
a kid then.
Whatever the reason, I'm not putting it out there really for the sake of argument. I'm just expressing.
No,
my
I understand.
doubt.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens. I think they're capable of doing all these deals. Well, take Fofana out of the picture. That's already done. I think he is going to United States for confirmation because of his past injury. I mean, it makes sense. Doesn't mean to say it's going to be a problem, but it's putting everybody's mind at ease and confirming that he's everything that is said on the tin. I don't see a problem with that, and neither will Fofana if he's confident in his own fitness, which I'm sure he is. So it's possible. Anthony Gordon, nowhere are we spending 80 million on that. That is Everton hype. They're trying to hype the guy, young English player.
More than
way
Dion.
of overhyping our players. He's not worth that. You can pay 50 for him. Yeah, I would do that. But and then because we pay for potential at Chelsea anyway. Well, anything above that is ridiculous. They can do one. And we don't need him that badly. They're just trying to overinflate it, create a star out of him. You know what it's like. We've been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt, and we ain't buying it. De Jong, well, anything can happen, but I don't like players that don't want us. I want a player that really wants us, and so if it doesn't happen, I'll just shrug my shoulders. What I am hoping for, and it keeps popping up in my mind, is on the last day or days, because we've only got tomorrow and Wednesday, Chelsea just go to West Ham and drop 100 million and see what they say. Declan Rice. It's a tough one, but they've set that price. We've shown we can pay money, so why not do it? Because we do need that midfielder. That's just what I'm thinking. I think there's a surprise to be had in these next 3 days.
All right, thank you very much, Robbie. I appreciate that. How about you, Declan? Welcome to the party. How are you doing, bro? Your thoughts? Do you think which of these players that's Fofana is just on the banner because we're waiting for the announcement. We have Zaha, Aubameyang, Gordon, and De Jong. Which of them do you think the club can still get across the line before the transfer window shuts?
Well, big up, everyone.
Big up to you too, brother.
I miss coming on the show. Big up the panel. Miss some of these guys. I've been kind of just waiting for this transfer window to end.
Big up, declared.
Big up. It's been crazy. I think I've seen so many transfer windows before. People's anxiety. People demand. People turned into accountants. We are breaking transfer records in terms of our spending. So that's a massive plus in its own. Because a lot of people have forgotten Roman really quickly already because of it. In terms of who's left to come in, I'm pretty optimistic. I feel there'll be at least two players coming in, and 2 players leaving. I think there's been a lot of deals in place. A lot of players we've been after. We've been criticised for being a scattergun approach, and there's a lot of players that wanted to leave. And there's a massive changing of team happening at Chelsea, and I think it'll probably take more than one transfer window. So I can see at least 2 players leaving and 2 players coming in, and the guys you've got there. And I hope you didn't put them in Chelsea outfit, because that's usually a curse, isn't it?
That's just you blaming me, but go ahead.
I wanted Frenkie de Jong so bad, and I think a lot of people did. I don't think it will happen. I think that something that people don't understand the most is that Frenkie de Jong's on a wage that was done by the previous president. And what he done before he left, and that was what he did. He recontracted about 4 players on massive wages, almost with the intent to kind of undermine the next president that comes in. So even if Frenkie de Jong takes his wage is that high that even if he takes a pay cut, it's probably not far off the wage that Man United and Chelsea would be offering. So that's kind of where he's at. Man United and Chelsea aren't giving him the wage he's getting now. But even in the pay cut that Barca offered, is around the benchmark. But the other problem is the wages he's still being owed. I think that's the thing. So I can see a deal where Barca give him the money he's owed, and he takes a wage cut. I can almost see that happening.
Now, we're already hearing that his camp have sent a proposal to Barca what they're willing to accept in terms of pay cut.
Yeah, it might. They'll probably, because he's keen on staying. They'll probably find a number there. So I'm still hopeful, but I think that's the least to happen. The situation with Aubameyang and Zaha are pretty similar. 1 year left on their contracts. On pretty big money. The difference is that Barca are probably more willing to get rid of Aubameyang, where maybe Crystal Palace, not Zaha, but Crystal Palace at the same time would probably want to get something instead of losing him for free. So that deal can still happen. And Anthony Gordon, we already sent a proposal, a bid. We've turned his head probably too. Even the Anthony Gordon, I think might be a bit late. I think that's one that can happen later on as well. But these all can still happen. There is something there they can make them happen even in a couple of days. So there's probably more players that that you haven't listed there, put their pictures there, that are also we're ready to come in. That we've already had a line of.
Like who? Like what? Liao.
Leao is getting serious. If Duncan Castle, that's a US journalist, right? Is he a journalist or some? If he says that we're going for him and we have the money, he's an inside again. I believe it seriously. But go ahead, Declare.
Yeah, Leao's a big one. That's another one that I think
it could happen.
Could happen for the upcoming seasons. I think Leao's a massive one to happen at this time. But you never know. I think there could be other players as well. I think they got a bit of a list on players that they've already gone after that they can go back in. I just think that it's usually one player. Yeah, it's great. I actually believe it's going to be two. I actually believe there's two leaving. I think there's heaps of players. We're going to have heaps of and more names go out on loan. I think it'll happen. We could possibly get a loan as well. Who knows?
Who do we know? That'd be weird because then let's just say we loan, I don't know, Leao. That means we most likely won't buy him.
We wouldn't loan Leao.
Exactly. They'll be like Sal Niguez after that. I don't think anyone wants to loan anyone to us.
Yeah, Declare quickly while I'm still with you. Can you take this question on the screen? Is Gordon a free role player?
For Everton, he looks like it.
So do you really have to say for Everton? So can you elaborate?
Well, he's almost their star player in form. He plays across the front wherever he can. They play a little bit on the counter, and he's there. He's in the mix. They get in the ball, and he looks deadly. I mean, I don't get the hate for him. People don't judge him as a young player, but he's threatening. He does a lot. He can dribble. He pressure. His work rate. I mean, people don't like that anymore because it was used for players like Mount and that. So it's given a bad rap. But for his age, he's doing bits. So I don't get the hate. I'd love to have Gordon too. Maybe the price is a bit high, but I mean, we're in the stage of window. Even if the deal happens in the next 2 days, whoever we buy is going to be pretty high. We're going to overpay for a player we desperately need, especially if we lose someone in that position.
Yeah, we don't have the luxury to do otherwise in most cases.
The thing I'm hoping for is that...
Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely going to be expensive.
Yeah,
but we're ready for that. I mean, we just have to bite the bullet. Simple.
Yeah, and it's looking like... Go ahead, Declare.
I was just going to add that I'm kind of with everyone that everyone wants a midfielder, but I don't think it's been a priority. Right now, we've only just been replacing the positions of players that have left. That's all we've done. We've actually broken the record just replacing players that are leaving, and I think that's going to happen too. If Ziyech goes, Cho as well, and it'll just mean more attackers in. I mean, I heard Chalobah's staying, but I'm not going to rule it out that he could go on loan and Purdue on loan. So I think a whole bunch of players that might leave.
No,
they're the only players we get back in.
Nowhere. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go too, but
I think
at the same time, Bobby, I wouldn't be surprised if he pushes for it.
I think Hudson-Odoi has gone Leverkusen.
Yeah, he's got. We'll look at that in a bit. I think he's leaving. Again, but that's, by the way, I appreciate that from you. And again, big up to everyone in the chat. We already have 55 likes. And again, I pleaded with our mods to always remind people to like the stream as they arrive, so I can spend less time talking about, begging for likes. That's what it is, actually. So, but if you're coming in, keep liking the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do a lot more to the channel. I have to be honest with you. That's the only way you can help the channel. Being part of the conversation in the chat, even watching without coming to those. But that's, by the way, and let's get ready for it. Ty is coming. Ty is what do we call the sailor, chief sailor on the Panic yacht. Oh yeah, Ty, I'm gonna come to you. Your thoughts. You have the list on the screen for you. Again, that's with Fofana an exception. We're hearing that he's flown to the US to complete his medical. Your thoughts on the list there? You can add Leao to it because we're hearing from Duncan Castle that Chelsea are serious about getting him, and the money is there. So Ty, go ahead.
It still looks as if I was right about De Jong, and not De Jong isn't happening. So that looks very slim. Gordon, apparently it's getting slimmer, so I think maybe that is still hanging in the balance. Aubameyang, I honestly don't know what's going on. It's very confusing. First, you're hearing that it's everything has been agreed. It's just about the fact that we're willing to offer him 1 year contract and then another one. So it's confusing because first you hear that there's some distance in some fee for him, and then you hear that we've surpassed that part and he's preparing for his departure to Chelsea. So I'm really not sure about that. I think that is still 50-50. I think he could still end up staying at Barcelona because it's not a case where he's unhappy or anything. He's okay staying there. It's just that people would assume that considering the impact and considering that Lewandowski is at the club, his game time would be limited. And even if you do play him as a wide player, they also have players that they rely on for that, like a Dembele. Rafinha is still adjusting to that team, so he's not at the highest level just about yet. And I mean, I don't really think that there's much effectiveness. I think it would be a case where they rotated, and considering that Chelsea needs somebody in that position who adds that level of unpredictability, where you can have him playing there centrally, and then he can drift wide, Sterling drifting wide, and it becomes less predictable. So that is still 50-50. Zaha, well, there is some contact with his representative, so that means that there is still a possibility that is looked into. But I'm not sure if it's going to be Aubameyang and Zaha. If it is, then I'm happy with that because I think we need both. If there is some great interest in both, I would honestly say that we need both. But if it's between one, I think most people would focus mostly on Aubameyang. At least that's what I think, because Zaha is a good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He's an excellent player, and I think he deserves a bigger move, especially considering that he's going to be 30 soon. And I mean, I'm pretty sure he himself wants some level of achievement before he hits that great age. So I think maybe based on the fact that Zaha's game is mostly about counter-attacking and being able to make those ideal passes for his runs, it becomes an issue. Aubameyang is like that, but I mean he's okay when you're being possessive and they're trying to do it. And even at Barcelona, that it's a counter-attacking system that's being utilized. But I think maybe Aubameyang probably would make it just about based on the fact that he's able to time his runs in time, even if you're being possessive. And in a contrast in terms of Zaha, where his game is mostly about counter-attacking, making those passes, controlling it down, and then taking a shot. I think maybe that would become an issue, and we would probably have an issue where you have to be sacrificing some level of possession so that you could get those timely passes into Zaha.
Okay. So for you, all of them, which you're not sure any of them, all of them are still, half and half for you.
I'm sure that De Jong is definitely not coming. Like if De Jong happens tonight, then God is coming in the next 2 weeks because if
De Jong comes, you have to do something on YouTube. You have to, I don't know, eat a bottle of thing.
You have to sing a song for us.
Hey, happy birthday, Tuchel. Sing it now.
So if any of them comes, you have to sing a song for us. Agreed?
Come.
I'm glad that Ty said that because Ty said we weren't going to sign anyone, and then soon after it was here we go for Fofana.
So I like, yeah. So Ty, I like it. So Ty keeps saying we're not going to sign anyone. I think I like that.
No man, no. You cannot be doing that. You can't be doing that. You know what? You have just ruined my juju. You
No, I
just
haven't ruined it. But that's, by the way. Let's see. Okay, let's see what we have here. Now, this is from just 1 second. This is from Simon Phillips. But then again, we have heard a lot of players have flown to London before, and this was just it is 4:17 here. This was just 3 minutes ago. We don't know if De Jong has a house in London, and he's quoting. I don't know who this guy is. Let me
coming to see
Click
me.
on him.
innit?
Let's click on him. Let's
Alvarez,
look into it.
is Julian Alvarez's
Coming to see
brother.
me.
Is
He's
who?
coming to
I'm asking if it's Julian Alvarez's brother.
see.
Who's
guys.
Julian Alvarez?
That you joking, bro.
Who is his brother?
Maybe his brother. Maybe it's Julian Alvarez's brother.
Listen.
Okay,
I've
let's
got a
click
yard
on it.
for
Let's
him.
see who the guy
Listen, I've
is.
got a house for
The
him.
guy
I've got a
has
house for him in
about
South
he has
London.
about 75,000 followers. I think people do. It looks like people take him seriously, but that's by the way. But here's the thing: I don't. When in terms of if you've grown this big and you're still using Gmail as your official email, I usually don't trust you. I'm sorry to say that.
Julian Alvarez.
That's a good one.
No, seriously, that's how I operate. If you have grown this big, up to 75,000 followers, and your email extension is after the @ sign and everything, again, is Gmail, I don't trust that source.
You
Again,
don't even have his own domain.
yeah. But then again, if Simon Phillips clicks on it, it thinks, okay, shares it, because Simon Phillips is the person that shared it, because he's a trusted source for me. Then we don't know why he's traveling to London. Maybe the renting thing is to go get a meal. And maybe he's coming to London to get a meal. But I wouldn't count it out. Todd Bowley, they've shown they're not afraid to splash the cash.
I've got a house for him here. He's coming to
And
the
again,
house.
yeah.
Somebody said something about the reason why he could potentially be going to London.
Yeah, it's me. I've got a house for him here. So I'm telling, let you guys know, man. I've got a free yard for him here, bro.
You're
Staying for the
joking.
longest, bro.
Here's the thing again. Yeah. And I'm seeing, the Mitch's comment is the very last comment. He's saying United's office is in London so we have absolutely no idea why he's visiting London.
Why is he in London? That is so odd.
Yeah, it's so odd at this
He's
point,
not
and
in
it's not
London.
like, and
He's
the league is
flying
still,
to London.
the league is starting. Go ahead, Declan, you were saying something?
Yeah, he's not in London. He's flying to London.
No,
Okay, he's not in London yet. So yeah, that's a difference.
No, I'm talking about it's odd because the United office is in London. That's what I'm saying.
So is the Chelsea one.
Yeah.
Which one is closer in
You lot are not
proximity?
listening to me. I'm saying my office is in London.
So they're
as
both
well.
in Mayfair.
No, I'm asking which one is closer in proximity.
Can we just pay attention? Can we pay attention to LBZ a bit? He's flying to LBZ's London because
I'm
LBZ is saying he's got a house for him.
Listening to me. Where else would he be going? What the hell? My office. I have an office in Soho. He's coming to sign for a few modeling contracts and go back to where he's coming from. I don't know anything.
Okay, that may well be the case.
Some fake models, huh?
But this is a weird one. Why again, you kind there's a chance it's absolute nonsense there. But
to be fair, I
don't.
saw a report about this last week that he was flying. So I don't look anything.
His agent.
Anything Frenkie de Jong, I don't listen. I just treat it like, I don't know, Daily Mail news. Obscene headlines and rubbish journalism. I don't know. That don't move me. Nothing moves me with this guy. I don't know why.
Just quickly before we go to look at the updates on the screen, Bobby, I'm bringing this one to you. Any ideas what's going on? I'm learning this question on the screen where it says, "Where is Ross Barkley?" Okay, Bobby was out. Where is Ross Barkley, Bobby? We don't really know, and I don't really know. Anybody on the panel, Bobby? Do you want to go for it? Where is Ross Barkley? Do you know?
Well, I'm hearing rumours that they're considering buying him out of his contract. I think they should. The only place for Ross Barkley now would be as some kind of squad depth player, if he has a place at all. So if he's looking to play regularly, that's not going to happen at Chelsea. Nobody else seems to want him. So those are the choices he has. Either he gets bought out of the contract if the club is willing to do that, or he accepts that at Chelsea he will just be a squad depth player, which is where it seems to be heading.
That's a bit sad though. You told you're going to be like, you know, on the 6th, 7th, 8th list of appearances. Like he's not even. He's beyond.
We don't have a 6th, 7th, 8th list. You make it sound
in
as
midfield.
if
He won't get in the midfield, man.
We've got one passenger, 2 injury-prone. The only real midfielder we have is Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
And we don't even really want him there anyway.
Sorry?
Tuchel has reinvented the guy.
To Ruben.
Yeah, he's reinvented him.
I think he's going to have a big
season. He's just using him to the repertoire that Ruben has. Ruben has.
I don't think it's going to be. Some people think it's going to be a temporary thing. I think it's going to be. He's going to play there quite a while.
I think he's going to have a big season.
Oh, absolutely.
Ruben loves the shit.
The only thing Ruben has to do this season is stay fit.
You think so? You think he's going to do that well? I think against Tottenham he played well, yeah, but the other games been lackluster, like nothing special.
What?
What are you talking about?
Really? What game do you watch? OG, show your face while you're saying that. Are you laughing while you're saying that? Are you trolling? Really?
No, I'm telling you, like Ruben
Did you just say that? The only thing you can say, he didn't get a goal. That's the only thing you can say.
I don't see him getting a goal because he's just not that greedy. He always tries to pass it off to set someone else up.
Yeah, he's a selfless player. But overall, the performance of the midfield, even though he was positioned on the flanks, if you want to phrase it that way, he's still the reason why the midfield did as well as they did.
Yeah.
I have to be honest with you. His job is to help overload the midfield, and he executed that quite well. Honestly, but again, I have to recognize we all see things from different lenses. Declan, you want to talk about that a bit? Go ahead, OG. You were saying something. Go ahead, OG. You were saying something.
Obviously, I'm not gonna, put Ruben under the bus or nothing, but he definitely has to get at least 15 GA. Mainly, he's gonna get the assists. I know the way he's playing, but if it comes out to stats, sure he'll get the pass after the pass, and then we score. I'll also count that, but honestly, he has to do something wondrous because we are gonna buy better players. Better players are gonna come back from injuries, so I don't see how long term. I can't see him here next summer.
Okay, all right. Declan, you have anything to say to that? Sorry, Bobby, you were saying something. Sorry, go ahead, Bobby.
Sorry, I'm not buying that one at all. That is agenda talk. Ruben he doesn't have to score goals. He's a midfielder. He's a utility player at the moment. And he's one of the most, he himself is making up for a lot of lack of squad depth. The only thing Ruben has to do is stay fit. This guy plays right wing back. He plays in the 6. He can play in the centre. He can play offensive midfield. He can flipping even play centre back. Ruben is a baller. There is no way on earth, if Thomas Tuchel is an elite manager, that he will let that guy go. None whatsoever. I can assure you that right now.
Don't be surprised because if the money's right, the money is right.
No, there's no money is right in this one.
What money? Keep the money.
I love you, bro. But there's no money is right when it comes to Ruben Loftus-Cheek. From what I've seen, that's me. That's me.
If United put 75 mil and we say next January.
There you go. That's where it's coming from. You want him to go to United? That's why.
No. But United's a team that will do something like that. They'll do something dumb like overpay.
That's where it's coming from. How can you talk like that? How can you talk like that?
Wait. What do you say? What are you saying? Ruben what?
Ruben is one of a few players in our squad, that fall in line in terms of registration for both homegrown talent and homegrown talent for Champions League. I don't see him in terms of homegrown status quota just leaving just like that, especially with the run of games he's getting. Like Bobby's alluded to, is a utility type player. He's actually fulfilling that role very well, albeit we're probably expecting.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere.
We've got Southampton this week. It's an easy game, and it is coming fast after the other game.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens then. If we drop points,
he's going to actually have a much better game against Southampton.
Did you just say it's going to be an easy game?
But if it's not an easy game against Southampton, then obviously we should all be worried.
Why? No games are easy, mate. You've seen it this year.
No game is
no
easy.
games are
Anything
easy,
can happen.
City went down.
He's going to go to Man United and have easy games.
No games
That's
are
where it's
easy.
going to
Okay, I want to get Declan's thought. Declan, your thought on the argument that CFC OG just brought up regarding Ruben Loftus-Cheek. We shouldn't even be talking about him now. We're here to talk about transfers. But again, I like what you brought up because it makes for a good argument. There's something to learn there. Declan, your thoughts regarding Ruben Loftus-Cheek, his contributions from the games he's played this season and from last season, maybe wherever Thomas Tuchel has played him. I want to get your thought. Do you think he's a player we'll consider selling?
No, because everyone knows, right, that it's a World Cup season. That depth and 5 subs is crucial. Right, in this season, a player like Loftus-Cheek is vital, right? You saw, right back, Bobby just listed. He can play anywhere, and he can also play his positions.
Bro. He can
and he can also play his positions.
Yeah.
In cup games and whatnot, in these filler games that we might have, he's going to be a big part player because of his utility, and Loftus-Cheek is, and you can see from the right back, he's actually improving. He's probably hitting late in his peak, because he didn't have the best of pathways when he was younger. But I believe Ruben is he's becoming a better player.
With more
and he's
games,
not a starter.
I hope you're right, man. Because if he keeps improving, then sure, I'll eat my words.
But it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. He's a squad player.
And here's one thing you have to remember: CFCOG, he's been reinvented. Go ahead, Declan.
Get rid of Loftus-Cheek. Do what you want to do. Who's going to fill in that gap? Who's going to be as useful, right, and accepting that role, right, that you can bring in? Like, which player can you convince from another team that's playing regularly, hey, come to Chelsea so you can be a squad player?
Exactly.
Do you have anyone in mind?
You're right.
We're actually
sit on the bench.
You're actually lucky that we got academy players that are trying to break in, and there are some that don't have the patience and want to leave straight away because they don't see that pathway, right? But Loftus-Cheek is that guy who thinks he's good enough, and he's going to keep trying till he thinks no more. But for now, right, great squad player, and I wish we had like a lot more of them, right? And I think like everyone's saying they want Gallagher out is a perfect example, right? Because of the rough start he had. But Gallagher can play out front too, and he probably showed that. And we need a squad like that and a squad like that is the team that's going to do well at the end of the season, of this season, especially this season.
Hope so. Look, we done well last season. We done well last season. Don't get it twisted. I don't think we're going to do as well.
All right, just quickly, breaking news. Callum Hudson-Odoi done. He will fly to Germany in the afternoon to undergo medical tests and sign as new Bayer Leverkusen player. Loan deal until June. Paperwork now ready. No buy option clause included. And here we go. Confirmed. The question is, how many years does he still have on his contract?
2.
That's where the risk lies. If it is just 2, it's a huge risk. I think if he comes back, he may well want to leave the club. It's as simple as that.
It's 3.
Again,
because
just anybody else want to say that? Sorry, Declan, were you still saying something about Ruben Loftus-Cheek? I just had to stop to share this update.
I was just adding at the end that that depth is going to be key. If you can look at a perfect example like Liverpool, I think they're going to struggle because of their lack of depth, right? And you can already see they're struggling at the moment. So I think you're going to see teams once they start getting some injuries. This is going to be a very injury-prone season. So many back-to-back games for everyone. Back-to-back games, throw World Cup in there. You don't even see before the World Cup players don't want to get injured, and you're not going to see players play well, right? The players that are going to the World Cup are going to hold back, right? You're going to see some of that before the World Cup happens. And then they're going to give it all in their World Cup. They can get serious injuries right there as well, and come back and straight into back-to-back games. It's going to be hell. The team with the biggest depth of squad is gonna show well. It's going to show in this season.
We will have a high depth of squad, but if our injuries are like 20% greater than everyone's else, it kind of balances out. If you know what I mean. So if we're get the most injuries and has least injuries and has a good squad depth, I think we're going to get more injuries because of the World Cup, like you said, and just the way Chelsea seems to be rolling. We're injury FC right now.
Well, it's injury-prone players. It's they're not managed well, and it's the players that played too many minutes, right? I mean, if you saw players like Mount, like Silva, you can't do that. Silva again, you can't do that to him. He'll break. If we do the same thing we did last season. Mason Mount was one of the most played players in, I think when I looked it up, top 5 in the world.
He got overplayed until he got mentally tired.
60 plus.
And again, he's still be on the pitch. You still see the energy, but decision making was next to zero. Go ahead, Declan.
The FIFA game where they have, after they play a game, they have a low HP. He's one will be on like 1.
Yeah, that will be low. You got Reece James
coming. Go ahead, Declan. Once you're done, I'm going to bring in the panic bus driver. He's here. Find out what he thinks before we move on to the structured topics.
I
go ahead,
hear
Declan.
The bus coming.
It's a good one.
That's look. We do have injury-prone players too. So we actually have to be more encouraging of our players in the squad, like Loftus-Cheek, like.
One more thing, we get more. It's scary that we got 2 red cards already. If you get one more, it's going to be a bit of a trend happening at Chelsea. Like, we don't want those jackets in here. We don't want red cards below, you know?
I don't mind the red cards. I don't want injuries.
Again, I'm going to, in advance, let the people in the chat know, I enjoy reading your comments, but I'm not that, I don't have so much energy today for reasons I don't want to talk about here again. It's just one of my voices isn't really feeling well, so that exhausted me. But that's by the way, I'll try the best I can. I will highlight just a few, but just quickly, and I think I got what he got too, something probably he got from school. I think I'm beginning to sense that it looks like I've got it. It's cold again, kinda. But that's by the way, I'm gonna go to the Rodrigo, big up, bro. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the panel today again. I don't know if you've dropped the keys, but it doesn't look like even signing new players doesn't change you. You're probably here to pick up more passengers.
We haven't signed anyone yet.
Okay. looking at the screen, we have we forget about Fofana being part of the banner. Let's talk about Zaha, Aubameyang, Gordon, and De Jong. And which of them do you think would still be able to get across the line before the transfer window shuts?
I'll be honest. I don't know. I don't think any of them. The most likely maybe Zaha. I think. I think Todd Bowley or the Chelsea. They're not really convinced by Aubameyang and his wage demand, and I don't blame them. I know people say we need goals, we need a striker, we need blah blah blah. We do, but you can't start giving a 33-year-old, I don't know, 180k a week or however much they want to pay him, and then what's gonna happen is next season he's gonna be surplus to requirement. Again, we're gonna have more deadwood, and then it's gonna be difficult to offload Aubameyang.
What if it's just 1-year contract?
No, exactly. What would Aubameyang leave Barcelona, where he has 2-year contract, to come here for a year? What?
No, I think he has a year. I think there's an option to extend. But the reason I think here's the reason I think Barca would be willing to sell him is the extension. It means he gets a higher salary than he was earning. They have to. That they can. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, if it's like a year and an option to extend, then I don't mind. I don't want it to be like a 3 years and then next year we're going in and buy an actual striker, buying an Nkunku, buying any, because I'm sure next summer there'll be plenty of attackers that we might want to buy. So again, he's gonna be a surplus to requirement. We're gonna be in a position where we have more deadwood. But The one I see likely to happen, I think, is Zaha. I think Zaha might actually happen. Forget Gordon. Gordon is not coming to Chelsea. Everton really, really rely on him. They'll be in so much trouble, and we don't have much time to go. Apparently, Chelsea value Armando Broja really highly, and they don't want to let him go anywhere. So we can't do a swap deal with him and getting Gordon. Yeah, and as the
What
other
about with
guy,
Barkley, Rodriguez?
yeah, but I don't think Everton want Barkley. Lampard knows Barkley, and he's already
Yeah, he didn't get that much chance under Lampard, so why would they want him?
And plus Lampard already
I
had
think Lampard rated him the most, didn't he?
That's just what he said in the
manager?
public. I think he was trying to motivate him. Him saying he's as good as every other player we have here. I remember that comment in particular.
Lampard gave him more of a chance than all the other managers we had before, like the last 4 or 5 managers. Yeah?
But really?
Who sent him on to Aston Villa?
I think the manager I felt liked him the most was Sarri.
Yeah.
Sarri liked him, but he got injury. He had injuries, some series of injuries under Sarri that also didn't get to play that much. Sarri actually played him. Was it the Champions League or Europa Cup? Yeah, he played him in Europe most of the time than other players.
We'll send Barkley to Aston Villa on loan.
Here's what I'm saying. Probably on loan doesn't make sense. I think the best option now will be to terminate his contract.
No, I'm saying we'll send Barkley on loan to Aston Villa because people say Lampard. Lampard's the one that sent him there. Lampard already knows this guy doesn't train hard, and he already had Dele Alli in his team, and he shipped him on loan to Besiktas. So Gordon is not gonna happen. Aubameyang, it could happen. Zaha more likely. Frenkie de Jong is staying at Barcelona. I saw the video of him flying to London. I think they're all on a break, so I'm not gonna read too much.
The Barca are on a break, right?
Yes, yeah.
But why is Simon Phillips? Of all his reputation, he probably knows.
No. He is flying to London. He is. He
is flying to London. But why do you think Simon Phillips? Why do you think he retweets that tweet?
Because
because most Chelsea fans would jump on it and run with it. Yeah, he knew exactly before he retweeted that. He knew exactly what he was doing.
But what if? Again, we live in a world of what if. It could happen. Yeah. Oh, I just want to, because I wasn't here.
Did that just come from you?
Huh?
Yeah. Did you just say it could happen? You, Rodrigo?
No, I didn't say. Don't touch me like that. I just want one word about the Leicester game. That I was very impressed with how we started that game in the first 20 minutes, and I feel like it was the best start of a game since the Spurs game. I was like, wow, what am I seeing? And then whatever happened. Yeah.
I'm looking for a comment that I saw in the chat that says he's flying to London for someone's wedding. One of the somethings, they have a lot of the light.
He's also flying.
Listen, everyone's flying everywhere. Guys going here, he's going there, he's going here. It doesn't mean anything.
Carnival. He's going carnival.
There's actual video footage.
He's going carnival. He's going carnival.
Van der Beek's wedding is this from Ray Allen, and I'm just gonna scroll to the very bottom. Apologies, I'm doing that because. Again, but somebody else said it before, and sorry I missed the person's comment. Big up to my brother, Fairboy. I think you and I, we need to talk again in private. There's something we need to discuss. But that's, by the way, again, thanks for finding the time to join. I will scroll past a few all the comments right now to get to the very bottom. Like I said, I don't have that energy to read everything there. And it's Ray Allen who says, again, Van der Beek's wedding, and that's why the Young is going to London. But even the panic bus driver believes there's a chance. You never know the what ifs, But I don't want. I really don't want to get into that. Auba staying at Barcelona. Not interested in him now. Okay, I'm not sure. Auba is desired. Again, the one thing is to desire something. The other is whether you be able to get what you desire. but I hope we'll get some. Let's get into the structured as a part of the show. Bobby, do you have anything to say about the flying to London, argument?
Nah, not at all.
Hey, how about you, Ty? Anything about the flying to London argument? Do you have anything to say?
Ty headed out. He said it on the chat. He's busy, innit? But listen, yeah, man.
He's going to not listen. He's going to a wedding. He's going to a wedding. After, he's going to catch the Notting Hill Carnival. Yeah? Listen. Big up. Catch a little wine. A little wine.
Yeah, man. A little tonic wine, yeah.
He's going to catch a little wine and go back to Barcelona. Listen, he ain't going here. He ain't coming here. He ain't coming to us. He's just going on a plane. Everyone flies. Everyone goes on planes. Why are we all looking into it? He's going to a wedding and he's going to Notting Hill Carnival. After he's flying back to Barcelona. You get me? All of that. That's
okay. That's go ahead. Go ahead. You wanted to say something, OG? Let me catch up with the chat. Again, apologies to everybody if I scroll past your contribution in the chat. It wasn't intentional. It's just I don't have the energy. I enjoy, if you know me, I enjoy reading your contributions because there's always something to learn from there. OG, you were saying something so that I can catch up with the chat and we'll move on to the structured aspect of the whole conversation.
I've been in the chat myself, chirping away. Okay. These guys are funny. These guys are funny. But as I said, man, people fly everywhere, man. I don't mean nothing. Like, I already know which two players we're going to get. We're going to get Aubameyang because Barcelona see that as free money and they are on that free money talks. And we'll most likely get Zaha because Crystal Palace is, they have a good relationship with us. And I'm sure they want to keep it. They probably want to feed us a bit, fatten us a bit so we can loan them one or two nice ones in the future. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Just quickly, I want to read this one. I think it's interesting. I saw that picture too. Laporta had a black eye in yesterday's game. Fought with La Liga president to slack effort to register Kunde, or maybe the Young punched him. We don't know. But that's, by the way, I'm gonna get to the very bottom to see what we have. Again, I promise I will take a few comments in the chat. Apologies if I missed any of your contributions. I don't have the energy to go through everything today because really, I don't have the energy. That's just the last way to put it. Again, where did I stop? I'm not sure where. I may have just to go to the very bottom. Here is a question. It says, De Jong is flying because he prefers a planned flight than going in by boat. That's it. Yeah, thank you. Maybe that explains it. And I'll take that one too. Auba not in London. He's been at the police at 24 all night. I heard that one too. But there's something I saw from Esa Mano that I wanted to read. But because there's a lot of comments coming in, I missed it. Goals and assists equal in contract bonuses. I'm not sure how that is used. Anybody on the panel have any idea how that works?
It is what it is. You get money for goals. You get money for assists.
Harry Kane style. Harry Kane makes hella money like that.
It depends. It depends
on what parties involved in the contract. It depends on what they agree on.
If you're a midfielder, you would expect that you get more money for your assists than your goals, or if you're a striker, vice versa. They might even put the money equal. It is what it is. It's not. There's no set formula to how it's put in your contract. It's just if you get this X amount, here's how much we give you. If you get X amount,
I prefer it. I prefer that anyway.
That's how it is, really. I mean, I couldn't see any formula away from that.
Okay. Anybody else want to talk about that? And again, people, we're just 10 likes away to
that though.
Yeah, go ahead.
It could breed some selfish players where your teammate could be open, but because you're so keen on getting that bonus, you're not gonna play the ball to it.
Yeah, but only 1, 2, or 3 players will ever have it in their contract. Yeah,
it doesn't change.
Not every player will have it.
It is what it is, isn't it? Foden probably has it, but it still don't change that he will get an assist, a 350k assist bonus if he gets 5 of them or so. It don't change, innit? It's just down to the player if you're going to be selfish enough to think about your contract first before you pass the ball. Obviously, that's debatable.
Yeah, you have the whole time in the whole world to think about it.
But it is what it is. If a country like Haaland's goal bonus and his assist bonus probably is the same, but I don't know. I would imagine that his goal bonus is obviously higher. but obviously he might have an assist bonus that is like wide, higher than certain. But there's no, I don't think there is any formula at all when it comes to this.
Thank you very much. Let me catch up with the chat again so we can move into the structured aspect of the show. Apologies again. I have to sincerely apologize. I enjoy reading your comments, but I don't have enough energy to do that today for reasons I've talked about. Zaha really wants a Chelsea transfer because of Champions League football. Plus, he gets to play with, surrounded by better players and probably the chance to show what he's capable of doing. I understand the argument that he didn't do that well at United, but then you could say he was just a prospect. He was just a teenager, by the way, actually. But that's, by the way, Crystal Metals FC, and we are their suppliers. Okay, I'm not gonna. Why did I even read that? Couldn't they register and debut made? No need to sell. Yep, but they still have a need to sell in terms of they need to, because Aubameyang staying, which means they'd have to extend a 1 year extension will be triggered plus new salary. Go ahead, a higher wage, so to speak. Go ahead. You were saying something, Rodrigo?
Yeah, do you think Barca will be petty? You know, the way we didn't sell Aspi to them because they really needed Aspi. Now they're trying to be petty, trying to put the price up, and then we playing the long game because we know they need that money, and we playing it until the last minute, and they'll accept the £22 million that we offered because they haven't officially rejected it. They haven't accepted it. I think they're trying to see if Chelsea can go higher. So it's a game of who's gonna blink first.
Yeah, I totally understand. And here, Laporta, in that Kabbalah society, yeah, I get it. I hope everybody in the chat gets it too. But that's, by the way, again, here we have, Phantom 6 to like. I saw your comment, but when I extended the start time, again, it wiped out. And I did read it too because I was able to recall what you said exactly. Thank you for the 6th like. Yeah, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Again, it looks like Nightbot is not sharing anybody's channel link. And if you're in the chat, if you're a mod already and you have a channel, simply you have the right to share the link to your channel. So do so. Don't wait for Nightbot. Don't wait for me to talk about it. Share it. And if I see it, again, that's the chance I highlight it and talk about it. If you haven't, go check out Phantom of Many Topics YouTube channel. Some travel videos, good quality. And again, educating, actually. Again, watch them. He's on the road. I think he's still on the road, actually. Visited a lot of military museums. I think you will enjoy those. Go check it out yourself. And Coach, and it's new contract now. We get some, from Gold. Okay, the new contracts again. But I get Rodrigo's concern. My neighbors flew to London today. He's joining Chelsea. I get it. Flying to London now, if you're a player, is a big deal, especially if you're already linked with a move to Chelsea Football Club. Again, 166 people watching, 92 likes, 8 more to get it to 100. Let's get it there and move and see how much likes we can get by the time the show ends. The Young will probably meet Ten Hag at the wedding. Probably a chance for him to convince him to join United, but we'll see. Amsterdam only 14 minutes further than London, 45 minutes from Manchester. Van de Beek marrying Beckham's daughter who doesn't fly. That's a delicious one right there. Wow. So a lot of train traveling to make it to that wedding in particular. Again, Auba actually worth 30 million. Is everyone happy with the club spending that amount? How much did Barcelona pay for Lewandowski? Isn't it 40 plus? And how old is Lewandowski? And Auba actually, I think he's underrated. I must tell you the truth. I think he's underrated. And then here's a video clip. I'm afraid of clicking on the video clip because it could freeze the screen. I'm seeing a video clip of the Young actually in the London airport there, or maybe on the. But that's, by the way, actually we don't have to waste our energy on that. But if Auba is worth that amount, I don't know. That's not a conversation I want to get into. He's still, how old is he? 33, right? So if he can get you the goals, why not? I don't think we'll pay that much money.
At this stage of the window, no one really looks at the transfer fee anymore. You want the player, you pay up.
You don't, yeah, because you don't have the luxury to do otherwise. You pay up or shut up. It's as simple as that. Because in most cases, but that's not the case in Barcelona's. When you talk about Auba, in most cases, clubs need to bring in replacement. So they need you, and then if you're coming in late, if they're gonna sell you, it has to be something extraordinary. Again, anything here? Let me see quickly what we have. What else we have to address there? Just give me a second. The video probably is hurting my screen, so I'm gonna move away from it because I tried to see if I could share it. It says, imagine having a assist clause in your contract with those bombs up front. Yeah, shaking. Beckham won't fly too. Okay, it gets better for the bride. Would love to see Zaha in our kit. I think I feel the same too. Fofana flying out to to where? To the US. I think we've read something about that. Again, that's by the way. I'm going to come back to the panel. Let's get into the structured aspect of the show. Take them one by one. We've talked about that one. I think we shouldn't even worry about it. This one says Brighton are interested in Gilmore, but nothing advanced yet. Gallagher and Pulisic are expected to stay. And if anything, we've learned from this window that even if you want to leave, your departure depends on the club's situation. If the club cannot bring in a replacement, you're not going to leave. It's your departure thing isn't going to be that simple. Anybody on the panel want to talk about what we're seeing on the screen here? Anybody on the panel?
The Gilmore one.
Yeah, I'm expecting Total Gilmore to go.
Yeah, I respect.
Yeah.
Gilmore
go ahead, Rodrigo.
Gilmore won't go to Brighton unless we sell him. We can't loan him there. We already loaned the player there.
Oh, that makes sense. So it has to be an outright. So it's not going to be a loan. And then I would have loved him to go on loan to Brighton because of the way they play. I think it'd be pivotal for them. I don't know why, but I wouldn't blame Thomas Tuchel because I'd argue he trusted him, but he wanted to leave so he gets more game time. And my argument with the video I did with Lamb's react then was that he shouldn't leave. It just doesn't make sense. Thomas Tuchel trusted him enough to start him in a few high-profile games, and he did quite well. He gained ground on the Thomas Tuchel. Then why leave? Just be patient. And I even talked about the case of Phil Foden of Manchester City. And during the duration of the season, there was a time, what's his name? Jorginho was out for a while. That would have been a chance for him to cement a place in the team. Mm-hmm. But I think at this stage, I think you could argue it's too late. Probably, to me, I don't think he'd get a chance to play for Chelsea again. Anybody want to say anything else regarding that on the panel?
Is he going to the World Cup? No. So he doesn't need to, Pulisic don't make sense because he really needs to put in the hours, the game time before the World Cup. But Gilmore, I mean, I'm shocked he didn't take one more year of loan. You know, even though our loans sometimes are like limbo, you know, I'm shocked he didn't take. I mean, but who else could he go to?
I think he'd be looking to leave the club, no matter, even if he's still. My point is, what I wanted to say, even if he still has 3 years left on his contract, after that, if it ends up being a loan, once he comes back, I think he'd be looking to leave on a permanent. Anybody else want to talk about that on the panel? You could go ahead, or we'll move on to the next topic. All right, it doesn't look like it. This one here says Aubameyang suffered a violent robbery this morning at his home in, Castor de Fels, Barcelona. At least 4 men climbed the garden and threatened him with firearms, iron bars, and have beaten him. What
is this, man?
According to police sources.
Yeah,
wow.
It's lately football players, in recent years, football players are getting more and more attacked.
Definitely.
I think they need to look after themselves now. They're no longer because they're almost obviously they are celebrities. They're big names now. They need to look out. They need to invest more in their securities. Maybe the club needs to start doing a bit more to protect them. Yeah, it should no longer be the case. Even now, you can see. Look at after the training, the Chelsea training. You see how fans were climbing on players' car. I know it's fans. I know it's nothing harmless, but I feel like the clubs need to start protecting players a bit more. Or players, obviously, they need to hire the best security in class. This isn't the first time. Yeah, we hear Pogba. I don't know if you want to touch on that.
I've
We hear
seen
Pogba
Pogba,
here.
Gabriel.
Well, it comes down to the country, yeah. I know France
Well,
is
it's
really
not
bad.
really the country, bro. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
What,
France.
has there been
everywhere,
incidents in England?
Yeah,
Reece James.
Reece James.
Reece James wasn't beaten, but his
Dele
house was
Alli.
robbed. They
Dele
took his
Alli.
medals too. In the case of
James
Reece
wasn't
James.
in a house. Imagine if he was.
You know what I mean? They did. What's this called? Gabriel on camera. Like it's a madness.
Ozil.
It's
Ozil, I remember.
it's disgusting. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. There needs to be these man need to have security now. Like you lot are celebrities, and I think we forget that because obviously we see them all the time every day on a football pitch. We just see them on a football pitch, so we just kind of just see them as this, that, and the third. But these guys are on a different tax bracket to me and you. You understand? Their money is different money. When we go to the bank and try and withdraw money, it's different to the way they go to the bank and withdraw money. You know, the bank manager brings them into it.
Brother.
No, but you know what I'm saying. Like, generally speaking, are you eating? Come on, man, let's keep it 100%.
I'm joking.
Are we eating Premier League money? So my point is, these guys need to be protecting themselves in the highest capacity, just having that security. It's not everyone, not just the high-profile footballers like Ronaldo and David Beckham's and Neymar's and Mbappe's. I believe everyone should be getting your security 100%. We're in a cost of living. A lot of people are going through hard times. You don't got enough money, so you just got to protect yourself.
It just looks as if they're more protected whenever they're close to the stadium vicinity. It just looks as if, but at home they're more vulnerable than we know.
I think it's intel. I think they just knew. Look what happened to what's his face last season for United. Who was it?
Pogba. Is it Pogba?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was a football player, Lindelof. While he was playing.
Oh yeah.
House got robbed. You know what I mean? It's disgusting, man. Like, yo, more needs to be done. Maybe the club needs to hire more security. I don't know, but it needs to be more.
No, the security. I don't think the club will agree to take on that responsibility. It's gonna cost them quite a lot.
Yeah, I heard that. Then now you have to cover the whole squad. Again, these guys need to get security, man. Like, if that was me, boy, if I don't know, you can't, boy. It's different, man. I don't have that money to have that security. I wish I have, but if I have that money, but I'm making sure I'm secure. CCTV everywhere, you know, guard dogs everywhere. You can't come in.
I mean, I could see more players going MLS just so they could hold the strap when they sleep. You know what I mean?
Okay, in America, if this happened in America, and let's say I don't know, they did the American soccer player has the right to kill him in his house.
Here's the thing. I think sports players here. I think they invest quite a lot in security in the United States.
I think more in America is more good in America than over here in Europe, man. Again,
yeah, it's very different here. They even when they come, even in the stadiums, you don't get easy access. You know, the access to the players aren't that easy too.
Exactly, over here
they're always going around with huge guys, and now because
over here is different.
Yeah,
but in all or nothing, anyone could go run up on the bus. Anyone,
if you're lucky, you could get access to the Prime Minister in no time.
Yeah.
Over here, you can't. Can you try that with Biden? You won't even get 20 minutes. So like, it's different over here. So I mean, we just need to up it. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Again, here, Chafi. Again, why the Shafi? I think that should be pronounced Shafi. Says, what about Zaha, Sterling, and Cristiano front of three? This would be electric. Anybody want to take? Yeah, but go ahead, Rodrigo. Since you're talking about that, you go ahead, take that one.
Sorry, Ronaldo is not the one, man. I'm sorry, man. He's a legend of the game, one of the greatest football players of all time. But the way I saw him play for United, his head is not in. Come on, be professional, man. I watched the game against Southampton, right? There's a pass. What's his face? Rashford is through on goal. All Ronaldo has to do, play him, right? Ronaldo, he's sending Rashford wide so that he can run in the box, so Rashford can cross for him to score. That's his mentality, man. He's a legend, but nah, bro. He just has to. Nah. I know we need goals. I know our attack currently is suffering from lack of goals, but I wouldn't take Ronaldo. I think let him go elsewhere. Let him stay at United, enjoy Europa League, or go elsewhere.
Again, we're hearing the argument that is really, shoving the guy up the throat of Todd Boehly.
Is that true?
Yeah, go ahead.
Apparently, the old United boss, Ralph Ragnick, I think Tuchel spoke to him about Ronaldo, and Ralph advised Tuchel not to sign him. Apparently.
Yeah, don't do it. Yeah, but we don't know really. But here's the thing again. I want to go to Declan because he's a Ronaldo fanboy. He's one of those chiefs who wants the player at our club. Declan, the question I want to ask you: the manager we've heard doesn't want him. So why is really if it's a fact that Jorge Mendes is pushing him to Chelsea, what do you have to say again? Your thoughts on the whole thing? Talk about Ronaldo. And again, if you're watching, here's a link to CFCOG's YouTube channel. Please go and subscribe and let him know I sent you. I think each subscriber he gets from here, from the Chelsea Perspective community, he owes me a bottle of beer. Go ahead, Declan. Are you still there, brother?
Yep, still here. Yeah, as much as I made a case for Ronaldo and wanted him, I can understand the coach not wanting him. You'd have to. It is a big influence. You'd have to base a lot around him. But I think he's the person.
Oh, so you agree? You have to base a lot around him, but your argument is always the goals. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's the goals. It's just the example that Rodriguez gave, right? That he'll send he'll send the player wide so he can be the guy that finishes it. Yeah, he will finish it. And that's what I want him to do. I want him to send our players wide and give it to him. He will finish it. That's the biggest problem at our club, that people won't finish. They pass and pass. No one wants to take their shot anyway, right? And no one can finish on the easy chances. I'm glad that Sterling now gets into positions to just tap ins, because that was even a big ask for some of our players. Our players were missing from the 6-yard bar. It was comical, right? And I believe that if Ronaldo comes in, he will score. But if Tuchel doesn't want him, and there is a case to be made, he's not going to. He's at 38 years old. He can't put in the amount of Ks that you would expect from that first, from the front, right? Which Tuchel wants. And that's where the case I could believe, maybe that's where he won't want him. But we still, and it's the reason why I want Aubameyang in too. We need someone that can score. Everyone talks about creativity and all that, right? I get it. The biggest problem in this squad for years is that we don't score chances. We don't even have a player that can score half chances. A good striker can even score.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask, if you don't mind, can I?
Yeah.
Before I miss it, the question I want to ask you: you're saying we'll bring him? Are we gonna bring him in as a point of reference whenever we get to the final third, or is he coming to be part of the team so we have more players who can put away chances? Because most people are calling this was the same conversation that a lot of the content creators and the Chelsea fans had before we brought in Lukaku. They were saying we just need a good finisher, forgetting that we had multiple players in the final third that missed chances or maybe too selfish to simplify the process by finding a better position player, lay the pass on the plate for him to that player to finish. So we were calling for a single individual to be our point of reference whenever we get to the final third. And the moment Lukaku arrived, we saw how big of a problem it was because either, again, this is something I've said before, subconsciously or by design, from the flanks, from the 2-6s, from the 2-8s, everybody seemed to be looking for Lukaku. And then we created less chances whenever he's in the team, but more chances whenever he's out of the team. So the question I have for you, are you calling for us to bring him in as a point of reference whenever we get to the final third because he can finish, because he's one of the best finishers in the world? Or are you saying to be part of the finishers, good finishers we have in the team? Let's clarify that, because it will make more sense for me to say, for you to explain again, if he comes in as part of the team and not be, and we're not going to see what we saw at Juventus. When the moment he's joined Juventus, the numbers of other attackers there start dropping, he's went up. The same thing at United. I think it was Rodrigo that brought up that point. Even though scientifically I can, prove that, but it just seems as if that's the case. But go ahead, Declare.
Yeah, it's not just a point of reference, because if it was just a point of reference, then Lukaku would be thriving in this team, and that type of striker is almost dying out, because you need more from just than a point of reference. For me, Ronaldo knows how to play out wide. That was his actually original position, right? He's great on the ball, and he can do a lot more. And it's almost, I think, people did complain about the lack of leaders in this club too, and he would be that person. And for me, and also in a team with full of young players, right? It will be great off the pitch as well. He is a perfect model and role model and an example for players. So I think he brings a lot for just someone that we're talking about a stopgap.
Declare, no, I can't let you finish that line. He's a role model. Why isn't he doing that at United? Is he just going to be a role model for us? But I haven't seen any of that leadership or that role modeling at United.
Do you remember when the smallest, dumbest things were coming out about Man United players skipping on dessert because Ronaldo skipped on dessert? Or if Ronaldo trains longer, he trains longer. Yeah, every little thing was coming out. It was dumb as it was dumb.
Ronaldo is a tyrant.
He's a tyrant, but if he's a perfect example if you want to be a good player. The guy he doesn't drink at all. He doesn't party. He always eats right. He always trains long. And even Evra was telling a story how he invited him for lunch, and these guys were competing with each other.
Rodrigo, let him drop. Then you can respond.
If you want a perfect recipe for a perfect player, right? Ronaldo is the one. So these young players that are still working out what to do and how to get better. They will see this guy and they'll follow him because of what he's done, right? And that will help him. This is off the pitch. This is the kind of influence he has off the pitch. And we're talking about a player for, 1 or 2 seasons. I'm saying on and off the pitch, he'll be great even off the ball. But when he's on the ball, right, he finishes goals. He's also a leader. If we're down, we got there's a mass statistic of when we score and concede. Do you know what I mean? We need influencers, leaders, right, to keep control of that. I thought we had that, but it looks like we're lacking. We're lacking in moments when we concede. You can see that in the game, and now we've got a lot of young players. I think Ronaldo will bring a lot. That's a lot for a short time. That's why I think he'll be a good transfer. And I'm not making this case so Ronaldo over other players. I feel the same. A lot of those points I made apply to Aubameyang as well. Just someone that can do all that. And it's something that we're missing greatly before creativity and all these other things that everyone wants.
Rodrigo, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I want to mention. Look at Jadon Sancho. Look at him now. He looks relieved. He's playing with joy. We can see. Look at even Bruno's looking kind of all right. I mean, this guy he just stifled the life out of people. I think it's not. People have this Ronaldo, the Ronaldo that we know. Ronaldo is an unbelievable player, but he's not the same guy anymore. I think at this stage of his career, he should go to the MLS, just relax. Go there and play for an MLS team. I didn't see any of that leadership quality that Declare is saying at United, because last season when he was the first one, whenever United are losing, to drop his head, to act a certain way. And on the pitch, you can see the way he acts. He's always someone that moans a lot. I mean, fair enough, you can see, yeah, but you need to understand, maybe some players, that's just going to put them in a wrong way and they're not going to perform. It doesn't mean because you're a role model, everyone is going to follow you. Maybe something you need to understand that to communicate with other people. And I felt like him being the superstar he is, when his team are losing, he dropped his head, he affects his teammates. I've seen it in
When did he drop his head?
Bro,
that guy was the leader at the start of the season. At the start of the season, how many goals he scored? He was the leader. And how bad were they doing? If Ronaldo didn't score all those crucial goals, they would have been lower than they were. And you're talking about two different managers as well. So Sancho is thriving under this manager and not under Oli, right? That's how you're putting it.
Under Oli,
and a lot of players do need that first season. There's a lot of factors to why Sancho didn't work out, and it wasn't to Ronaldo.
No, it's not just Sancho. Ronaldo, actually, those 18 goals, those are Tammy Abraham stats. He only scores those 18 goals in maybe 5 games. The rest of the time, the United fan will tell you he was a passenger. He wasn't doing anything on the pitch. He literally scored in maybe 8 or 9, maybe 7 games. And then the rest of the time, he was a passenger. I know it's hard to talk about Ronaldo.
I think that whole team was a passenger the way they were going.
Yeah, but but you said he's a leader on the pitch. So why wasn't he motivating his teammates? Or wasn't he bringing the
He
level
did that
up?
at the start, but his team's dead. Dead.
So he doesn't have the mental strength then, because if they drop, so he dropped his level as well. So who's to say that's not going to happen when he comes here?
But Bobby, are you still there with us?
It could happen to Messi. It could happen to any player. Yeah. That could happen. That's not exclusive to Ronaldo and that.
All right,
right.
But Bobby, let's get your thoughts on the Ronaldo argument.
You know, as far as I know, Tuchel doesn't want him. As far as I know, I've listened carefully to this argument. I've actually listened to the players' points, and I think there are some valid points, but the problem, you see, what we have at Chelsea right now is that the squad is being depleted. Clearly, there is a rebuild. It's very much a lot of out with the old and in with the new, if you can call them old, because they mainly are academy lads. And something different has to happen to the forward line, and is being attempted to the forward line to make it more successful with goal scoring. Is Ronaldo a short-term answer? That is a very, very big question. The last thing Chelsea need after the Romelu Lukaku debacle, which you can see what's happening in Italy, they're already complaining that he's sitting there waiting for the ball to drop at his feet before he does anything.
Maybe we'll make them realize that.
Well, I hope they don't, because that means they won't keep him for another season. Anyway, that's another topic. But, you know, the last thing Chelsea need is some prima donna coming into the dressing room again and taking over. However, having said that, you know, the youngsters in the forward line, the only youngster really that I think should remain in the forward line and will remain is Broja. And will Ronaldo stifle him? Probably not, because at his age, he's not going to play every game. Do we want? I mean, it's a very difficult one for me. Both Ronaldo and Aubameyang, you know, leave me just resigned to what Tuchel wants, because they're not really, they don't give me any excitement, to be honest. But if I can see, I wouldn't be surprised if this happens. He has a commercial value. I've seen some sort of unseen photographs of how he does sort of try and encourage the Man United team and that. But, there's this dynamic. I ask myself, whenever Chelsea have had a player from Man United, apart from the great Mark Hughes, I don't really see any successful players. I remember this midfielder,
Veron.
Yeah,
Yeah, why Sebastian Varane?
Yeah, he didn't light up the torch, the torch paper. I just don't. There's this dynamic between Chelsea and Man United that is never good, and I don't know. I don't know how would he feel coming to Chelsea, a club that he has derided for so many years in attitude and so many things. He hasn't been one of the worst players towards us. He only played for his club, but that switch in fan base, I don't know, but it can be done. Um, Honestly, I just sit. Do you know what? I leave it to the coach. If Tuchel wants him, okay. If Tuchel doesn't, okay. That's just my attitude because I'm done with the strikers situation. I just think we're not looking at the right things. All this talk. Ronaldo is going to cost money, so in terms of wages, at least. So why not just use the money and make an audacious bid for Ivan Toney? I don't know.
Ivan Toney is another one I want to see at the club. But that's, by the way, big up to the Queen of the House. Thank you for finding the time to join and, I help keep the house clean. I appreciate that. I'm going to come to you, IBZ. Your thoughts on this argument?
What, Ronaldo?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, it is what it is. I mean, it's always going to be decisive. People are gonna say yeah, they want him. People are gonna say no. What do we have? If we can say no to Ronaldo right now that we don't have anything, then we must really be okay with what we have. But he's not coming, so it's whatever. But I'll take Ronaldo, even if it is for the short term. What the hell? That's a goal scorer. So yeah, I'll take him.
So you're not sure? You don't think it's gonna cause any sort of problems for us? You think it will be okay?
Well, that'll be dependent on the manager and how he manages Ronaldo in the professional environment that they are all in. This ain't college. This ain't school. This is professional environments where you train to play high performance sports for good match days on the weekend. This ain't high school or uni or some social environment where you're just chilling. This is work. So I would expect them to conduct at the highest professional standards. And I don't think it will be a problem, especially for the short term. If it's managed properly, then it is what it is. You could argue that United, it wasn't managed properly, and obviously he could have obviously another argument say he could have handled the situation, and he just self-imploded, didn't take any leadership roles. But hey, is that his job to do, or is his job to come in and score goals, which he was doing? But again, I'll take him as a goal scorer. I believe that the management at Helm will just keep him at bay just to make him understand what it is. Even now, you can see it with Ten Hag. Like, Ten Hag has kept him shut since. Like, he's been benched for 2 games now.
And they've done well better in his absence. Yeah, exactly. That's my argument. That's my argument.
He's not coming out saying, "Oh yeah, why is it?" He's not. You don't see him throwing his arguing with the manager, saying, "Why am I on the bench?" It is what it is. Like, this is professional, innit? Like, this is it. So again, it is what it is. Ronaldo, he's a goal scorer. Anyone that will say he will come in anyone's team and score goals, and goals win you games. When you win a game and it's Ronaldo that scored it for you, you're full of praise for him. You won't really say, "Oh yeah," but his attitude and all of this, what have you. But yeah, there's an argument. He does bring all of that with him. It brings everything with him. But it is what it is.
But you're willing to take the risk.
Yeah, on the short term, yeah, 100%. If I take it for another year, 2 years, to have one arguably the greatest ever goal scorer, 100%. Why not? What's the worst that's gonna happen? Is he gonna get me relegated?
Yep. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. CFCOG, your turn. Your thoughts on the Ronaldo argument, so we can move on. But again, one thing we'll have to know is that I think it's gaining steam. Ronaldo to Chelsea is gaining steam as the transfer window nears its closure. We're hearing more and more. The argument that is pushing him to Chelsea. But that's, by the way, your thoughts are CFCOG, bro.
No, everyone here has covered points left and right on both sides, but I like to look at it from more a banter point of view. If we get Ronaldo, like first thing we'll do is get his T-shirt with my name on his back because London's full of plastic United fans. I know at least 50 of them.
You know what I mean? Let's not even talk about that. But
Yeah.
there's full of them.
One goal is all he needs.
Ronaldo on my back. Oh my god.
Sue me, bro. When he scores out, just one goal's needed. That's all it be. I mean, if he's going to take an Aubameyang contract, he gets paid for performances, and it's only 1 year extension. And to be honest, just from the shirt sales, as I said, it's not even a free transfer. We get paid for it. We're going to make more money than everything we do with Ronaldo. You know what I mean? Especially the Americans, they'll buy that up. Like Ronaldo went to Chelsea, them ones. But if before Sterling, I'd have taken Ronaldo.
Sorry?
Hello? I said before Sterling came. Yeah, before Sterling came, I might have, but Sterling might be the new Bruno Fernandes. He might suffer because of Ronaldo. But before that, I would have definitely taken Ronaldo. Now I don't think Sterling wants Ronaldo there. I think he wants Aubameyang. Like he'll be like, yo, my brother. But with Ronaldo, he'll be on eggshells again. And I like the way Sterling's playing right now. So I mean, yeah.
So you're for or against it? I didn't get that.
Well, to be honest, I'm for it, man. Unless we get Aubameyang, I'm for it. I'm Aubameyang first, Ronaldo second. Not the other way around. Aubameyang first, that flops, then we have no choice. Maybe we could sneak in Ronaldo.
All right, and that's by the way. Again, I'm going to scroll past almost nearly everything we have in the chat. Bomba, I haven't said hello to you today. I hope you're doing well. And Joe, boy, again, you talk about Ronaldo being professional, but the guy acts like a child who wants to leave the club, who started his career off because he don't play half Champions League. Again, we don't know if that's the case, but I get your argument.
Let him argue with his superiors that he's a child.
Yeah.
I beg, I don't want to go to...
yeah, again, just boy, people are mad how they mix the world, the professional up so easily. And Chelsea FC TV Extra, again, says, Bobby, no, Ronaldo wouldn't cost money. If we don't get Auba, it'd be good fit for our one season on Ronaldo. We are struggling for goals. And if we don't get Auba now, we should go all in for one season. Wow, okay. If you think so, currently looking at the situation, it looks like Ronaldo is our best option. Okay, that's what Jamport Entertainment thinks. And Jamport promised me he's gonna give me a Jamaican beer if he ever sees me in Jamaica, which means I'm gonna. It's called, what's it called again? It's called Magnum. So yeah, but when he said that to me, Magnum sounds like something else as an American. So I had to take my time to say, okay, wait, what is this brother talking about here? I had to ask Ty. Ty explained. I said, okay, you know what? I'm all for it. And my next big holiday will be in Jamaica, and I hope to see you. You're doing a good job, though, for the Jamaican youths. And again, I appreciate that. If Ty is here, let him share the link to your channel because you're not a mod yet, but we'll take care of that soon. So thank you. I appreciate that. Again, anything else here? Henry Otalo says FDJ on his way to London, destination not clear for a wedding. We heard it's not because he's coming to Chelsea again. That's, by the way, he acts like a child. Yep, that's funny too. Ronaldo is too much of baggage. Again, mad things. So, and big up to my brother again, a CFC.
Whoa, we kick him out.
For the first time, coach is gone. Like that's mad.
That's
Bro,
mad.
why is this Barcelona fan saying it? Obviously, Barcelona hate
Of course,
Ronaldo.
man. Yeah.
I was thinking, like my cousins from Barcelona, innit? They told me Barcelona is becoming worse. Like these guys are hungry, innit? They want to rob De Jong. They hate De Jong. They want to rob Aubameyang.
But do you think Ronaldo might freeze himself just so that he can be ready for the World Cup? So he's not really.
Oh yeah. He's going to. I keep forgetting Ronaldo's going to the World Cup at 37, bro.
I need to put that in as well. So maybe he's not gonna. Yeah. And if he comes to Chelsea's not like it's his club. It's not. So he's just gonna do the bare minimum.
Where he wants.
He's gonna do the bare minimum, so he can be fit for the World Cup. Maybe after the World Cup, then we can talk about Ronaldo.
Okay, and here's Jamport. After getting all my hopes up, he just told me that the Magnum is a kind of tonic drink.
It's banging though, bro.
Of
It
course,
gets you lit, fam.
Magnum gives you nice energy, you know. I'm not gonna say nothing.
These and the Magnum, you'll be carnivaling all day.
And the ladies will be happy as well. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Maybe we should go for him. Please tell him to have a sense to. Again, it's not going to be easy for Ronaldo comes. Brentford again won't sell Ivan Toney because again it doesn't make sense. Why Brentford sell their best player? Okay, I get the argument there. Beggars cannot be choosers. We don't have time. Okay, I get the argument there. The Auba Gordon deal are off. If I remember, the Undertaker told me, didn't you also say that what's it called? Didn't you also say that the Fofana deal is off, that we're not going to get him? I thought you said that too.
Reverse psychology. Reverse.
Yeah, I think that's what. So that's what it was. So the Undertaker, whenever you say a player's deal is off, again, I'm hoping we're getting that one. The Auba Gordon deal, okay, I've read that. As someone said, the Young was carrying a suit back. Wedding makes a sense. Yeah, thank you very much, Esamano. I appreciate that. The Young is trying to fool us. It's off to Van der Beek's wedding. Yeah, and again, but I'm going to blame the person that I'm thinking now, fooled Chelsea fans. Why in the world, why in the De Jong world, the Simon Phillips retweet that? He knew exactly what he's doing. He knew the tweet would catch fire, and he did that. But that's, by the way, again, after all, he didn't say much. So if you sucked up to that and see it as De Jong is coming to Chelsea, because he didn't say De Jong is coming to Chelsea, he only told you he's flying to London. But that's, by the way, question for the panel: who would you prefer to see at Chelsea, Neves or Frenkie? Bobby, you want to take that one?
Neves.
Question.
Yeah, it says, who would you prefer to see at Chelsea, Ruben Neves or Frenkie de Jong?
For me, at the moment, if a Neves deal can be done, I would prefer to see Neves. I'm tired of De Jong's antics. That's a silly story. He's either coming or he isn't. Barca owe him money. Apparently, Chelsea were prepared to pay that money. I don't know. It's all too exhausting, too complicated. Ruben Neves seems like if it was ever going to happen, it'll be straight money, less drama. Probably a much a much better player for Chelsea because he's used to the Premier League. Nobody knows what De Jong will bring to the Premier League because he hasn't played here. So I don't know. If it was on offering, I'll go for Neves.
Yeah, big up to my brother CFC for one of the fastest, you could say the fastest growing YouTube channel. He's probably around 16,000 plus subscribers right now. Again, he's going to hit 100,000 soon. Some good shot, all good, some excellent, short videos that you will enjoy. Content also very enjoyable, very objective. Again, we're friends, but we've become brothers over time. Very selfless individual, open to supporting every Chelsea content creator to help them grow. Again, I trust him and I love him so much as a brother. If you haven't, go check out his channel. Make sure to let him know I sent you. Again, I thank you for finding time to join, bro. And here, Esamano said in the UK, a Magnum is an ice cream. Yeah, everywhere it means a different thing. Thank you very much for saying that.
Yeah, it's also in a condom too.
Do you have to say that?
I don't know why you meant.
You don't have to, please. Please, again, we have kids watching. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. I appreciate that, brother. Again, Undertaker, let me see anything else to watch here. The Young are going to personally reject United. Yeah, we've learned that if he ever, again, what we're hearing, but I'm not falling for that, and I'm not going to hold my breath for that. Talks are, if he ever decides to leave Barca, he comes to Chelsea. Scout Watch, Angerin bagged a brace this weekend with one beautiful long shot, a midfielder who can shoot. Again, one to watch for. Again, thank you for that. I appreciate it. If you can be doing that every show whenever you're here, I'd take it. Thank you very much. Again, Aubameyang's deal is off. Gordon also, again, brown envelopes. You elaborate. Please, Kimso, elaborate. I wanna know what's going on. Angerin is silk. I gave up on the young long back. His fiancée is holding him again at gunpoint. You're making up stuff right now. You're making up stuff. Again, but I get your argument. We're not sure why the guy isn't coming. It's a much more complicated situation that we know. Neves FDJ is a bet. An ice cream in the UK says 2 players and 25 million for Gordon is mad. That is 85 million for Gordon. I don't believe that story. If anybody on the panel want to talk about that, go ahead. Says Chelsea fans are gonna track FDJ. They will start, stalking him, tracking his being fair in London. They will stalk the life out of him. A big question.
It's not just us. I saw Man United fans, because also Depay's there as well, and they're saying the exact same things as we're saying. So it's crazy how his movements will be followed by both sets of fans. Probably more.
Yeah, there's probably more. Again, if you're watching, how many likes do we have now? We have 115 likes. Again, I appreciate that. Thank you for all the support. If you haven't, please do take a second to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's keep the likes going up. A big question. Do you guys think Mount putting on muscle has affected his game in a negative way? Agility-wise, I am surprised nobody has brought up this topic anywhere. It's a difficult one. I can't.
Mount is a mental. I think Mount is mentally tired. I feel like Mount.
But the season just started.
Yeah,
the season just started. How many games into the season and he's already mentally tired?
No, but I think this is the second season
he's been
now.
non-stop.
Even last season, he started slowly. I think I think it might be a pattern with Mount. Last season, remember last season? At the beginning of the season, he was really.
Rodrigo, go ahead with the conversation. I'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Okay, because last season, remember, we were all expecting, because Mount finished the season strongly, and then he started the season really poorly. I think it took him up to maybe the Norwich game, where he came into his own. I think maybe something with him. He's a slow starter. I'm not worried about Mount. I think he'll come good. I think now he's probably tired. We just need to be rotated in and out of the squad. At the moment, we probably don't have anyone to play in his position. We could have played Ziyech, but Ziyech's head is in Amsterdam, so we couldn't really rotate Mount. And obviously, Cho is also going on loan, so we haven't had the luxury to take him out of the team. But now, hopefully, if we sign a few players in the next few days, we could afford to put him on the bench. I'm not really worried about him. Anyone else want to touch on Mount?
Gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Oh, what funny is Ajax are trying to be cheeky. They don't want to pay what they've just received £100 million. Euros.
They're so tight.
They don't have money. How are they gonna turn around and say they don't have money?
Yeah.
What a robbery! 100 mil for Anthony.
Talking about Anthony, Mason Mount had a better goals and assists as an 18-year-old at Vitesse than Anthony, who play for Ajax, the biggest team in the Eredivisie.
Are they the same age? Yeah.
No, but Anthony's at 22, 23. But Mount was cooking in that league at 18.
Again, anybody else want to talk about Mount?
all I gotta say, there could be a case that he has been overplayed for 2 seasons, and maybe these are the effects from it, because we've been saying he needs a rest. He's been non-stop, even off-season internationals. He played non-stop. It could be a case of being overplayed for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And these are the effects. There could be a case for that.
Yeah, I'm really concerned because he's a good player. And I think I heard somebody argue before that he's going to retire early if we continue to play him like that. But go ahead, Declan. You were still saying something, brother.
No, that is a point, because that happened to Owen and Wayne Rooney and a lot of young players that played so much and a lot very early end up.
Yeah, they think he's Lampard.
Yeah, I really agree. And I also blame the fan base as well for this sort of thing that happens to players like Mount. You see him on the bench and everybody's screaming and shouting, oh, Mount is on the bench. He should leave. He won't sign a new contract. It's nonsense. We're in an age where rotation is critical. Mason Mount, as far as I'm concerned, is suffering from conditioning. He has to be super fit to be able to maintain the way he plays. And you're right, he has been overplayed over the last 2 seasons, and it's affecting him. I think he needs to be paced into the season. He's not going to start like he's going to finish. It's always been the way with Mason. So rotation is important. That's why I keep singing about having enough depth. We've suffered from no depth. Look at what they did to Reece James. Another thing I really have issue with Thomas Tuchel about. He plays him constantly.
And given his how he plays, he exerts so much energy, so much running. His industry is exceptional. Nobody measures him in the team. I think he may well retire quicker than Wayne Rooney actually.
On Tuesday, he's going to play Reece James again. He's sorted the problem of the left wing back. He's got to have somebody to rotate with on the right wing back. This is the problem. Lack of depth. We can't keep flogging these players. Look at Kovacic and Kante. Part of the reason they're always injured is when they're fit, they're flogged. And what people fail to understand is even when they're playing, they're doing a double shift. They're covering up for blooming Jorginho all the time because of the way he plays. It's not like they've got a partner in there. They've got a passenger in there in the midfield. They do twice the workload, and they're doing that game in, game out. I feel a bit sorry for Mount. I just think he's not being managed properly at all.
And some people are quick to start saying his nonsense and stuff that people don't pay attention. And how old is Mount right now?
23.
Yeah, but people are judging him like he's 25, 26 and all that. I think sometimes I don't know how to define Chelsea fans. Sometimes their behavior can be worrying. In the case of Mount, if everybody that's watching, whoever gets to watch this video later on, if you paid attention last season, that was the time, because one thing with Mount, whenever you play him, you still see that energy, you still see that high pressing. But again, we realized, I think it took his decision making for Thomas Tuchel to realize that this guy is mentally tired. That was when he dropped him for a while, I think a few games, 2 games or so. And then when he came back, he started scoring again and assisting goals. So sometimes, again, it's just as you pushing your body beyond what your body can do, as long as you're awake. But your decision making, there's some mistake you'd make, and then you realize, I need a rest. Sometimes it was just, let me use myself for instance. I'll drink coffee, I'd still sit here and be talking with you, but I'll make some misspelling. It will be some spelling mistake. It will be just Viola that I will come and say, Coach, you need to take a break. Your brain you're forcing your brain to go to an extent it shouldn't be going. This guy is a human being, and at the rate he's going, I'm concerned we need to rotate him. Even if for his own good, even if he thinks otherwise, sometimes he needs to take a break. I think anybody else want to talk about it? That's on the panel. You go ahead.
Well, yeah, I was kind of disgusted with how we went down to 10 men, and obviously for tactical reasons, Mount got subbed off. That's how I looked at it. It was either Mount. It could have been. It could have been probably Havertz. But still, the game was 0-0, and we still needed a threat. I think Mount and the role he plays was the ideal one to sub off, to keep us still going in the game, right? Now, everyone saw that differently. Everyone thought he got dropped because he wasn't playing well, and there could be a case of that. But if we didn't go down to 10 men, I didn't think he would get subbed. There wouldn't be any changes. There was still a lot more to be played for. And everyone was actually cheering that he got subbed.
Yeah, saying it's because he was nonsense.
Yeah, to think that it was purely based on performance, which is kind of shows our fan base at the moment. just
I'm really
just
concerned
pounce on
about this guy.
To pounce on anything. Like as soon as someone does a mistake, everyone's calling for Mendy's head. But it's a game by game basis. Do you know what I mean? There is no one has any patience. Now people want Gallagher to go. I already feel that we're gonna have a really rocky road.
Yeah.
Ahead of us. Then you're gonna see, I think we're gonna be good in the latest stage of the season.
I agree.
Yeah, even if I do believe there's gonna be a couple new faces come in on deadline day, and they have to adapt as well. So it's just one of those things where it's gonna take time, and Chelsea fans are gonna lose their head.
Maybe we're doing this in a reverse way. We usually start like a bullet train, and then when we get to November, October, we start to lose. Maybe this time around, we started slowly winning. We won 2 games, but we haven't played like to the level that we all won. Maybe later on in the season, it'll pick up, and I'm convinced. I can even in the Leicester game. I know I was surprised when I was hearing from fans review and stuff how much negative people had. But when I was watching the game for the first 20 minutes before the red card, I was very impressed. Even Gallagher himself played really well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was good. I was like, whoa.
He looked more settled than the previous
the
game
previous
before.
Game. Yeah, it was just unfortunate. I think, in a team, you need players like Mount, you need players like Gallagher that comes in, play with high energy, with tempo. I agree with what Bobby said. You need to know how to ease them in. It's about conditioning. I don't think you can tell, like, he still presses, but I feel like when you're tired, when you're mentally tired, it's like your feet and your brain don't work at the same speed. So your decision making becomes worse. That's what you can
Yeah. It happens, in everything in life, not just football.
Exactly. Look at him. Mount wins the ball. I like that. I like that he wins the ball. But what he does with the ball after, because he's not clicking yet. So, yeah, that's why we need option on the bench. And unfortunately, we haven't had that. The only option we have is Pulisic. But I feel like Pulisic is being used as an
impact sub
for Sterling. As an option for Sterling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, would you? Personally, if it's up to me, I'll put Mount on the bench, play Pulisic, Broya, and Sterling for a game. Let's just change it up. But maybe Tuchel is also changing, because last season he kept changing his front 3. Maybe he wants to stick with one front 3 till they build some sort of like understanding and relation on the pitch. Yeah,
I think if there's anything to be worried about with Mount, apart from the fact that he needs to be rotated and he's been overplayed, is his finishing. I think for the position he plays, his finishing is dreadful. And the older he gets, the more it will be a detriment to his game. So he really needs to work on that. And if that means he's fresher and it will help him, so be it. Because you see, people talk about Lampard and, Lampard played every game and ran around all over the place. Yes, he did. But Lampard justified that by scoring the number of goals he scored.
But you can say Lampard doesn't exert more energy, like as much energy as this guy does on the pitch.
Well, then he converted it to goals. Lampard was scoring as many goals as a striker. He was scoring 20 goals a season from midfield. So, Mason Mount is lucky if he gets 5. That has to change. And that's an area of his game he really, really, really has to work on, or it will just tarnish everything about him.
I think, again, Mount is so...
Hasn't Mount been hitting double digits, at least, every season?
No. Google it, you'll see. He doesn't.
Just quickly, OG, I don't know if you're still there. I think we can move, except Declan, do you want to say anything about Mount? I'll just move on to the question on this. Okay, from the question from my brother, CFC Fahim on the screen, said, do you guys think Zaha will get complacent if he joins Chelsea, like Grealish at City, for example. I'm going to start again. I'm going to try to answer this question to my best of knowledge. To me, before I go to CFCOG, in the case of Grealish, I think he was the main guy at, was it Aston Villa, right? Was it Aston Villa? Before he went to City. Was it Villa? Can you guys hear me?
Villa.
Okay,
Yeah,
but at City, things change. He's more of a team player. He's expected to be more. Again, he's not the one carrying the team. He has a more of a, you could say, a more team environment that he had at Aston Villa. Aston Villa, he's always the guy that's expected to carry the team through. But at City, that's not the case. And also, you must understand that Pep Guardiola, as good as a manager he is, he micromanages. And micromanaging, to me, I'd argue, isn't good for what's his name? For Jack Grealish style of play. OG, your thoughts on this question from CFC Fahim?
Yeah, man. I think Zaha's a man and Grealish is a boy. You know, if this was the first time we were comparing them, Zaha did do a Grealish. He went to Manchester, didn't like the city of Manchester, didn't do well there, and now he came back to London. So I think it's different in that terms. If Grealish goes back to Aston Villa and then he transfers again, cool. But I reckon Zaha wants to win something. I mean, he doesn't want to finish his career. He doesn't even have African nations to his name. He has no silverware to his name in the last decade or so. So, I mean, he really should come here with a fire. Grealish, he knew he was going to win something anyway. Just that mentality alone is, you know, laissez-faire, makes you relaxed. But so, no, I honestly, my guy, seriously, for him, I think Zaha will do it well. And I can see all the teams expecting a lot out of Zaha, so they'll double up on him, and etc. That makes more space for a man like Sterling, and obviously if Obama comes.
That's an interesting question for Fahim, and that's a delicious question, by the way. Again, Rodrigo, can you comment before I go to Declan and Bobby?
Yeah, I was actually against the Zaha move, but when I went back and actually thought about how good this guy could be for us, I think like it makes sense. I want Zaha. I think Zaha would do really well at Chelsea. And when I'm now looking back, you know, he's one of those people that need that one opportunity. I know when he went to United, he was too young. He was 20, maybe 18 or 9. I don't remember. He was really young. He was early in his career. Maybe he didn't appreciate that enough back then. He didn't think, oh yeah, this is the one chance in life you get. Right now, I feel like Zaha is at a point where he comes to Chelsea, he's gonna go to the next level. He's gonna go to the next. I can see it. This guy he takes on more responsibility at Palace, and at Chelsea he'll be able to play in a number of positions. Could be on the wing, could be as a false 9, or as a fluid attack with Sterling. I can see him and Sterling building that partnership, and he could work out for us.
Remember Robben and Duff?
I'm not concerned with Zaha.
It'll be like the version of Robben and Duff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what I mean? And he's very.
I'm out, man. I don't want to interrupt you like this, Rodriguez, my G, but I'm out, you man. I love this panel. I'm gonna try, get you guys on one of my shows one day. Coach you as well.
Follow them on Twitter. Follow them on Twitter.
Please,
follow Bobby on Twitter. Bobby is I haven't seen anybody love Chelsea as much as Bobby. So passionate. Again, even though the argument gets heated sometimes, but it's all respect for everybody. Again, same thing as Declan. And I do believe they'd be happy to come on whenever time allows to contribute again. And thank you for being a brother, man. I love you, my brother, and I appreciate you always finding time. Enjoy your vacation, but don't send me any more pictures of your vacation.
No. Don't go on my Instagram, then. Don't go on my Instagram.
I don't want to see. All right, bro. Go ahead, Rodrigo. You were saying something.
Yeah. Now I just want to finish on this Zaha thing. I think Zaha will work out really well for us. I think his directness on the ball. We have Sterling. When I watched Sterling, I was like, this is what we were missing all this time. Not someone who's going to take the ball, turn around, pass it back to the midfield, to the wing back. Someone that can take the ball and commit defenders.
He always seeks to progress the ball.
Yeah, you can see that in Sterling. You can see, dare I say, Sterling remind me a bit of a Hazard. So imagine we have another one like that in the team. We're going to give defenders a lot of problems. Chelsea are going to be a problem for defenders. Like we get Sterling and get Zaha. I'm more up for it. I'm more up for Zaha to come in. And early in the transfer window, maybe because we had a lot more options, and I was thinking, why do we go for Zaha? Maybe we should go for someone else. But at this stage of the window, like as of now, we have to get in Zaha. And we can't go into the season with the front line that we have now. I'll be really worried if we don't add anyone in attack. Yeah.
Again, I want to ask you. Let me start with you, Bobby, before I go to Declan. Your thoughts on this, delicious comment or contribution from my brother and friend, the CFC Fahim. Do you want me to read it for you, or you good?
Whether Zaha will get complicated,
complacent at Chelsea. Yeah, if he joins Chelsea like Grealish at City, I'd say again, like I said, Grealish a case at Man City isn't about complacency. I think there's more to it. But you go ahead with your thoughts on the question.
I think the difference would be one, the age, and two, Grealish was going to join a system of forward play. Zaha will be coming to Chelsea to create a system of forward play. I don't think Zaha will be coming as a striker. I think if you look at the business, it's been out with the old and in with the new. I think he's coming to replace the likes of Cho and Ziyech, or indeed Cho, because we're not 100% sure Ziyech is going anywhere. In fact, I read somewhere that he doesn't want to go anywhere. So we have to wait and see with that one. And there's a price on his head that I'm not sure Ajax, although they potentially will get money for Anthony, I'm not sure they're willing to spend it like that. So definitely, if Zaha comes, it will be for Cho, adding to our rotation. Captain America was his name again. I've forgotten.
Christian Pulisic.
Pulisic isn't going anywhere, and rightly so. The vacant position would then be the attacker. Now we are keeping Broja. We still need another. Is that Aubameyang? Possibly. Is that CR7? Possibly. I can see that happening. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think Zaha will be like Grealish. You can't measure those two situations the same. It's like saying Haaland going to City was like Lukaku coming to Chelsea. Two different players, two different scenarios. I'm beginning to slightly warm to this Zaha thing. He wasn't my cup of tea, but the thing is, it's often these players that are not fancied or that are not fashionable that come and do well at Chelsea.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Again, the player doesn't have to be playing for the biggest club in the world or maybe be that expensive, to turn out to become a good signing for us. Declan, your thoughts on this delicious comment from my brother and friend CFC for him.
The difference between both of them, and there's almost similarities as well. If Zaha was the same age as Grealish and moved to a big club, I think he could be similar in complacent. That's if we're saying Grealish is. I could see him have a bit of a shock, but but this late in his career, I feel that Zaha feels like he should be at a big club, and he got priced out. That's how I see Zaha. And Zaha thinks he belongs there. He's got something to prove at this late of his career. So I think if he came to Chelsea, I think he'll be even a better player. He'll step it up because this is where he thinks he believes it will happen, where he belongs, and he'll show that. It's a little too late for him, and it's going to start late. It's kind of like reminds me a little bit like a Nalka, how he probably had the best years later in his life, and I think Zaha will step up. Will step up even more just because he has something to prove, and that's the difference. I think Grealish would have done the same if that happened to him. If he stayed at Villa, if he was caught in a massive contract that he couldn't leave and Villa priced him out, that would happen to him as well. So I think just that little chance for him to thrive at the highest level, I think Zaha will take that at this stage of his career. And I think that's why he's running down his contract, because he did want to leave for how many years, and Palace just
They
priced
held
him
him, yeah.
on any move. So I think he's hungry for that, and that's why he's running down the contract.
I'm seeing some people Yannick are close to leaving. The Young saying probably, yeah. I think Yannick, so to speak, pronouncing that name. I'm guilty of pronouncing the J instead of they say silence again. Coming Ublis says Mount is tired, just like Pedri at the beginning of the season. It makes sense to me now. That's why this argument makes sense. Mason Mount is too head rush, needs to be more calm and look up again. His style of play is not something you can change right now. I don't think it comes down to him taking the time to look up and all that. I think the case is that he's being overplayed. That's how I see it. Anthony has only been in Holland for 2 seasons. He was in Brazil again before he isn't he isn't an Ajax product, and they paid a fee for him. But I think they're making much more, you'd argue, and I think so. And I'm not sure.
I heard they have to pay
He's
20
suffering
million.
from fatigue. Yep, that's the case. Go ahead, Rodrigo. You were saying something.
I heard Ajax have to pay 20 million euros to the team in Brazil. That's what they were pushing really high for the fee. But still, that leaves them with 80 million euros. So if they want Ziyech, they need to pay 30. Now, what are we asking?
Yeah, I agree with you. Again, I say that Ziyech was told Tuchel didn't want him. So yes, his mind is elsewhere, and that's understandable. Again, that's one player I've always wanted to remain at Chelsea, but for some reason the manager doesn't like him that much, and it hasn't worked between the two men. So Collins quits. I think it's a better option for everybody involved. Rest Mount. I think if you rest Mount, you see him produce better results. It's happened before. It happened this past season, and we did see the difference. He will burn out the way he plays. Yeah, that's for sure. That's why we need to find a better. You want to find every now and then give him a break. It won't stop him from going to the World Cup. It will not affect his development. Again, he doesn't conserve his energy, and you could argue at this age. I think that's very difficult to change. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not. How do I phrase it? Again, maybe there's a chance that changes, but I don't know. Maybe it all comes down, I think, to the manager he plays under. Because I remember also Frank Lampard saying he wants him to do a lot of running for him. Something he expects something the same running, the same amount of running from Callum Hudson-Odoi on other players. Again, there are some teams when you play with them, again, you have no option than to adapt the way the manager wants you to play. Some managers want you to conserve your energy, to run sparingly. But under Thomas Tuchel, I don't think that's the case. He expects the players to run so much, especially the front three. Maybe he should, change it up a bit so these players don't burn out. But again, I don't know what else to say. Mount is fatigued. That's the truth. He will come back soon. I believe in Mesa, though he is bad at the moment. Yeah, that's a better way to phrase it. But some fan base think otherwise. Some things he's just not just a Chelsea quality, but I don't think that's the case. Chalobah, right back. I think he is a role I believe he can fulfill. Actually, what else do we have here? I think it's time to start integrate Chukwuemeka into the team because I agree the players need to get a proper rotation. Thomas Tuchel, I think, is paying attention. Maybe he has. We don't know how he plans to do that, but I've seen him, I think, on the bench once or so. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Mount should be benched against Southampton and come on as a sub. Probably needs almost a reset mentally. I think he just give him a break. Give him a break again. But it doesn't help to hear that at the US, instead of taking a break or resting at the hotel, they went out partying. But I don't want to go into that again because I'm not sure how truthful that is. I dropped Mount for a few games just for him. He hit the reset button, however you want to phrase it. And if TT didn't play Mount and James and we lost, he would get attacked from all angles. But does it really matter? I'd rather not play them to rest them so they'd be ready for the next game. I'd rather the fan base attack me. If you I know there are a lot of people who understand why that happens. Again, but that's by the way. I'm going to come back to the panel. Let's look at the structured topics we have here. Again, a man said tactical reasons. He was a ghost because he was tired, probably. But again, there's a chance it was for tactical reasons because Toko doesn't look like he ever considers taking Mount off, even when he's not playing well. Go and subscribe to Fahim's channel. Please go and subscribe to Fahim's YouTube channel. Why? How did this repeat twice? Oh man, I suck at programming this software. Mason Mount isn't Chelsea quality, and nobody wants to admit it. Coach, tell me those times that he's usually the reason why we won games or put in some brilliant performances. Do you argue the same? I'd say otherwise. And here's the thing: some people, I know how much you like Christian Pulisic, and I know how often you bring up his numbers, saying how he's one of the best players we have on the team. Some people will tell you the same about Mason Mount, but then again, I have to come to the conclusion. I have to agree. You are entitled to your opinion, but I think otherwise, I respectfully disagree with you on that one. Look, Cooper said Conor Gallagher is coming back to Palace. As a Palace fan, I am buzzing. Again, if you have a rival fan or any other person in the chat who's supports another fan, please make sure he knows about Soccer Perspective, where we talk about every club, not just Chelsea Football Club. But then again, good luck to you on hoping to see Conor Gallagher at your club.
Oh, no way. I'm not.
No, just good luck to him. Let's see if that happens. Yeah,
I'm not ready. I'm not ready to.
And look at him. Look at his selfishness here. He's saying Zaha is going to stay at Palace and then maybe live on a free. If that is what you prefer, and then go ahead, Rodrigo. You were saying something.
Yeah, I've watched Gallagher. I see something in this guy. He's not a double pivot player, but he can play anywhere else on the pitch. I'm not ready to let him go yet. I like his energy. I like to play with that. My only concern now is when he comes back, is that gonna affect because he's so enthusiastic on the pitch. You want to get stuck in. Maybe I don't know, because I want him to almost maintain that energy, but maybe be smarter in his tackles. So maybe playing a different position on the pitch might actually change that. Maybe he's the guy. We're talking about Mount needing a rest. We have a guy who's hungry for games, and I can easily slot in the man position. In the eighth,
in the eighth row.
The Claire that lectured me on where Gallagher can potentially play. Yeah, so there you go.
And I'm glad you learned, right? He learned. That's a good thing.
Professor Declare.
Declare, by the way, what do you think about Coach Chris's argument on Mount not being Chelsea level?
And you said he's a Pulisic.
Yeah, he likes to fight for Pulisic. He wanted to come onto the panel the other day when somebody said Pulisic is nonsense.
Well, does that mean Pulisic is not Chelsea level? I mean,
I don't know. I'm just asking you about that.
Yeah,
don't bring me into the fight.
Anytime I ask about anyone about Pulisic, they go, "Well, he sells shirts." Well, that's what he is then. He's a shirt seller. Is that what going to be? I mean, Pulisic missing from 6 yards out. Mount has been scoring more than Pulisic. He does more, right? If we're comparing the two, so I don't know how someone can say Mount isn't on Pulisic level. And unless we forget, there's an academy player on academy wages, right? Who also he's been embedded in Chelsea culture, and then Coach Chris has to turn around. You can come on here. I wish you came on here, and then turn around and say that someone like Pulisic, who costs 60 mil, 160k a week, missing from the 6-yard box, played half his games in the season. I mean, I don't know how you have that standard for such a inconsistent standard for different players. Then Mount is, for what he's doing. I mean, this is the issue. This is the major issue. People don't judge Mount as a 23-year-old. They don't judge Mount as a 23-year-old. They don't judge Havertz as a 23-year-old.
None of them, they don't. Even Ampadu, he's just 21. Some people sound like he's 45, and it's over for him.
Yeah, people are crazy. Mount is doing great for his age, and at the level he's playing on. He's played the most games for Chelsea. He's been Chelsea Player of the Year, even though people didn't think he deserved it. Right? He still did it. He's still like, what was it? One of the top players from last season, even if you didn't think he was meant to win that. His stats. He's playing, and he's not even playing in his most ideal position as well. For some people can argue. So I judge Mount for what he's doing at his age. Mount has still 2-3 years to hit his peak. And people will make the argument, oh well, he's just stagnated. He won't get any better. It's more. I don't think it's more about football related. I think it's more of an agenda, and I think it's more because of how much there are people that idolize him. There are people that like him too much, and from that people hate, and there's a group of people that hate him more for it as well, and are more critical because he doesn't get subbed. And that's because some people don't understand the actual role he plays up front, and that other people couldn't do that one role where it's between the front three and the midfield. He's the one that drops back. I feel Conor Gallagher can do that role. I feel Havertz can do that role too, and I hope some other people can do it. Because
Gallagher especially.
Yeah, and because of that reason is why he was so overplayed, and people find that hard to believe, and people don't like because he's not the dribbler, he's not the video game player, and I think there is a lot of hate for Mount and Havertz now too, and don't look at him like that. They want him to be sold, and there's zero patience at this club at the moment, and it's what's rude awakening is we just bought 3 young talents as well, and it's going to take them time to get in too, and this club needs a pathway for these players to come in, and Mount and Reece James and Chalobah are good examples. So you can't, if you give this much hate that Mount takes, I think he's doing well. I think if another young player came through and had a good season and then didn't have a great season next season, if you cop this much flack, I think it probably could ruin someone's career. It could derail that person, or it could motivate them to leave and do well somewhere else. There has to be a culture of embracing and a positive, positive look to young players.
Exactly, Declare. If I want to add something to your point, it almost feels like Chelsea fans don't remember how to enjoy. It's almost like if you say Mount is good, you are Mount whatever. If you criticize Mount, you're Mount hater. It's almost. I find it difficult. The Chelsea fan can't enjoy a game without going over the two extremities.
Yeah, it is really crazy how we judge players. Again, we sound like someone.
Too.
Yeah,
I thought Gallagher was doing not bad at the start of the game. He was really eager. He was distributing well. He was just a little too eager to impress. Exactly. And he was almost playing like the game was in the 80th minute. That's how intense he was playing and what it meant. And that shows an inexperience to do that tackle when he didn't need to do it. It's just a bad judgment. It's something that is going to happen with young players constantly, but that's how they get better. But the way we jump on them is insane for me. And Rodrigo, you've seen Chelsea fans, I don't think have seen other teams or seen teams built. I think they're too used to big name players coming in all the time and expecting, to hit the ground running. So
again, we've been spoiled. Again, I think that is spoiled us all, and we get. I don't want to get into that. Coach Chris, I think it would be easier because I don't have the device to access Instagram at this point. If you can create the Twitter account, honestly, what makes us so unique, and again, we welcome every opinion you have. If you, I'd really like to have you on the panel. Just create a Twitter account. It won't take you a minute, and believe me, by tomorrow you'll be on here.
Coach, you don't want to be stuck in an echo chamber where everyone has the same opinion. So if someone,
exactly. So it's not. Go ahead, Rodrigo. You were saying something.
Yeah, it's not like just want to say it's not an echo chamber. You can't go on certain places where you can't even say, "Oh, Mount had a poor game." You say that you like, "Oh, you," or you can't say Pulisic didn't have a good game. You know, we're allowed to criticize, but I feel like sometimes Chelsea fans take criticism over the edge. I mean, when I heard. If I didn't watch
it makes for a good argument. It's something to learn from. Something to learn.
If I didn't watch the Leicester game and I just went on Twitter, you would have thought Gallagher was really, really bad. But I watched the game, and then I knew the kid was too eager to impress. Fair enough. He need to calm down. But he was a 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10 kind of performance in the first 20 minutes. He did better than the previous game, but. Maybe I need to disconnect from reading a lot of the tweets from Chelsea fans. Because
here's the thing: some people, all they care is that again the mistake. One thing is sure. I think again, one thing is sure: any mistake he makes, it will be difficult for him to repeat that mistake again, especially such high-profile mistake as that second foul. But we'll still see more mistakes at his age. We'll still see more. And again, like you and I agree, and I think everyone else and most people agree, again, just to be safe, he looked better. He looked more settled. He wasn't too much in a hurry like the game before. It's just that mistake was just that. And you could argue the first yellow was harsh. But again, they don't pay attention to distance. It's just quick to say to judge. Again, George Boy says, who on the panel is on the train? Again, I wouldn't say Rodrigo is on the train. He drives a separate...
My neighbor is raving his car out. This guy is raving his own car.
He drives his own, again, he has his own separate vehicle. He drives the bus, so the train, who's somebody there has the panic airplane, and Tai is the chief sailor in the panic yacht. But that's, by the way, again, Zaha, it says Zaha is staying at Palace. Okay, we've heard you, Luke Cooper. And here Chelsea is doing a press conference now. Are they really? Okay, we're going to round up soon so everybody can go watch it. If Chelsea can, they only signed Auba and the Young. We see what happens there. The people that support Chelsea that are bashing these young players and need to watch some of your past game to learn more about Chelsea, because they wouldn't be so impatient if they did. Okay, I hope they understand that comment too, as much as I try to understand it. The Young is saying, Auba is saying, okay, keep them both. If that's the case, I think, but I still think Auba will come to Chelsea. If not, then we have other alternatives that I think will happen. Nothing to worry about with Mount, other than the fact he's a token out there running around being a team mascot. That's harsh. That's seriously harsh. But that's, by the way, again, let me see what else we have here. Toko loves his head. Oh my, you have a gang down there, supporting everything you say like that. I'm not going to read that one. But that's, by the way, don't forget Lampard was taking penalties too. More token that pattern that almost broke our team up. Okay. Look from Simon Phillips, there's been no encouragement from Chelsea that they will sell Conor Gallagher. I don't think we'll sell Conor Gallagher. Then Zaha coming from United Academy. I'm not sure. I think they bought him from somewhere.
They might have bought him, but I'm pretty sure he came out from the academy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Again, I can name a lot of players who have had difficult spell or villain at Chelsea, who once they one day brought us glory. Okay, Fernando Torres and Bertrand are two examples. Okay, let me see again. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Maybe one more comment here to see. I know it's going to be really interesting if I read it. Let me see again. Lampard played deeper. His strength arriving late. His work rate nowhere near Mount playing in a more ball-carrying position. Lampard fed off wingers and strikers. Mount starts a match Frank Lampard before Jose. So that's an interesting one to go and consider. Yeah, go ahead. You were saying something.
You want to notice like Sterling looks like a designated penalty taker. We didn't take the penalty, but I was surprised.
He had the ball, right?
The ball. Yeah, he had the ball.
Maybe it was just a team. Maybe they were just trying to get him off the ground. Team players do that. Maybe there's an agreement. Just help him get the goal, so we can help him start scoring. Maybe there's an agreement, but I still think Jorginho will still remain the club's main penalty taker. If that didn't change when Lukaku joined us, it's never going to change now.
I just want to clear up that Man United actually bought Zaha from Palace.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking that too. So he wasn't the academy product.
No, he was a Palace academy product.
Okay, so he's at home now. He feels at home, but that's why I'm going to come back. So thank you for that information, Bobby. Let's see what we have here again. This is Fabrizio Romano. His tweet on the flight to London thing is it's become so important in the transfer window. He says Frenkie de Jong traveling to London as he will be on holiday after some days off decided by Xavi. Again, so this has nothing to do actually with the wedding, but I'm not sure. It's not a transfer related. No changes about his situation. No talks with Liverpool. Frenkie has different plans, focused on staying at Barca, but not open to salary cut. Like, what the heck? It just this part just doesn't make sense to me. This part to me just says, okay, he's leaving. Because Barcelona's stance is, if he doesn't take a pay cut, he's going to leave. I think this just makes it clear. I think we should start, basing our judgment based on him saying he wants to stay, and Laporta just saying he needs to take a pay cut. There's much more to what's going on there that we don't know. We should stop judging the guy. We should stop. There's much more to what's going on there than we know. Because how can you tell me Barcelona wants him to take a pay cut? He's not willing to take a pay cut, and he's telling you he wants to stay. And he doesn't start games. In most cases, he's on the bench. And Barcelona don't play with 2 6s, and we've learned that he's better utilized when he plays in a double pivot. And they have Busquets there. Is it Busquets? Yeah, I think as long as they have him, his game time will be limited. And this guy is a Dutch international. So it just doesn't make sense. Please, what I'm begging us is not just, start calling the guy's names, judging him based on, what we're seeing out there. I think there's much more to it. Anybody on the panel want to say anything else before we move on to the next topic?
Want Ruben Neves.
Okay, that's a good Frankie the Younger related statement there. Anybody else, or should I just move on?
Yeah, well, I think that the staying at Barca is something that he has to say. We all forget that one of the conditions for what was it called? When you delay wages.
Deferred wages.
Deferred wages. Yeah, the contract for the deferred wages was that he couldn't protest or say anything, or he would lose that money. If he did, if he came out and said, I wanted to leave. Sorry.
I'm just learning that now. Could you say that again very slowly?
This was very early on.
If you're in the chat, please pay attention. If you're watching, pay attention. Go ahead, Declare.
Yeah, early on in the window when all the De Jong saga happened with Man United and that, and it was coming out that this wasn't just Frenkie de Jong, it was for any other player too. When they drew up the deferred wages contract. And they agreed to. Part of that was in there. If you came out and you started bringing up the money, or you protested, or you said you wouldn't play, or anything like that, you lost the deferred wages. It was a clause.
How is that legal to any measure?
It's the same way how if they do that now and they get fined. Yeah, it's in the contract. There's a lot of things like that now in their contracts now. A lot of players can't come out and full badmouth.
That's what, coach. That's what. When you put a transfer request, you forgo certain things. in your certain bonuses, certain payment that you might be owed, but when you hand in a transfer request, you're not gonna get them. So I think it's a similar thing here, where he almost has to say he's staying at Barcelona so he can pay his money. Yeah. But where this doesn't hold is where the clubs are telling him, we will pay you what Barcelona owes you. That's where it doesn't hold him.
Yeah.
Keep saying he wants. I think it's more like maybe his family, his wife. Maybe his wife. Come on, man. Let your man go elsewhere so he can. Anyway, that's it. Give me Ruben Neves.
Nah, let's get Frenkie de Jong.
I'd prefer. Maybe let's get. I just say let's get the managers' preferences. But that's, by the way, Bobby. You want to come on, or should we move on to the next one? Again, we have a few minutes to round up, and Coach Chris just he just ID'd himself on Twitter. I don't know. We don't have too much time now left. I don't know if it makes sense to bring him on now. Probably he's in for the fight tomorrow and subsequent streams. But that's, by the way. Bobby, it doesn't look like you want to say anything further regarding the Frenkie de Jong topic. I think you're tired of that. I must say. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't.
Okay, I knew that before time. Okay, let's see what else we have here. We have this one says Callum Hudson-Odoi will undergo his Bayer Leverkusen medical. I think we've read that before this afternoon ahead of his loan move from Chelsea until the end of the season. I am concerned that he has just 2 years left on his contract, and I don't see him extending if that's in fact the case. Just quickly, Achigwe, what's the latest on Auba? Nothing new. Again, it is where we're at a few days ago. Again, the last thing we heard of serious stuff we heard from the Auba is that the deal has stalled, given the disparity between how much Chelsea is willing to pay and how much Barca wants to sell the player. And that's what time we also heard that the deal is a matter of hours. The next 48 hours, they told us the deal will be completed, but that hasn't happened yet. Antonio 2504 says that would prefer Michael Olise from really Zaha. Zaha plays on the left again as Starling. Olise plays on the right. He's a good dribbler and a direct than Zaha. Go ahead. You want to say something?
No, I just want to correct. Obviously, Sterling is naturally left winger, but for Tuchel, Sterling plays on a free role. Look at, he doesn't stay in one position. Sterling.
Sterling is again. I think you could say he enjoys a fluid attacking line better than just him sticking him on the flanks and say stay there. He does way better if you give him the independence to roam. I think that's what Thomas Tuchel has done for him, and I think he's enjoying it. The politics of the situation call for Mount and Havertz to play as much as possible as we win for the optics. Again, I'd have just show up on the panel tomorrow. I have you there now, and again, it'd be fun to have you. Again, you cannot tell me forwards are starting because they run and work hard instead of scoring. Is what we're supposed to do. If you check Mason Mount's numbers, you wouldn't. His numbers ain't that bad. As much as I think he's a bit too selfish to my liking, I still think his numbers are good enough. That's how I see it. This guy just compares Zaha to former Golden Boot winner Nicolas Anelka to the context. But I think you have to pay attention to context, not to mix things up.
Well, that's not coach. I might call him cherry pick Chris. Because
we
that's
all
what he
do
did.
that.
On that statement, when I said it was, I compared when they peaked in their career, and this guy brought up was like I compared the two players as being similar. I mean that's why this guy has a standard for Pulisic, and then he doesn't keep that same standard for anyone else. So
I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
I'm ready. It'll be a great discussion.
It will be an interesting one, and I think again I'm going to see one of the let's see. It depends on because the transfer market is coming to a close and it's going to be heated up. So I don't see I don't think there's the space to talk about player performances and output at this point. It won't help. Fan base is always an issue. PSG fans booed Lionel Messi. That's interesting. What did Nightbot do to you? The repeated comment. I need to have a convo. It seems it's all your fault. You understand how to program the software quite well, and you haven't helped me, bro. Again, so I blame it on you. But that's, by the way, I stop judging. Yeah, again, stop that. I'm gonna scroll to the very bottom. Let's look at the structured, contributions. Topic we have lined up. After that, maybe I'll try to read some of it. Again, get Mitrovic. I come back before Fulham game. No, stay there. Stay where you are. As much as, again, if Chelsea start looking at Mitrovic, I wouldn't be surprised. I like him as a striker. But yeah, Phantom, stay on loan. Don't come back. Don't even consider coming back. That's, by the way, you in terms of supporting clubs, you have identity crisis. And I must say, you probably root for him when they play against us. The Chelsea owners want to keep Conor Gallagher, and he wants to make it at Chelsea. We've always heard that. Even after his interview, I think, was it Rio Ferdinand and then behind, the camera, he told them to make sure Chelsea knows he wants to make it at the club. Chelsea is his, target. But that's, by the way, I am told, though, that the club, that the only club he would go to this summer if he wasn't wanted at Chelsea is Crystal Palace. However, Chelsea owners keen to keep him. I'd keep the kid. Again, he's still young. Don't even loan him out. We need squad depth, like Bobby is saying it a while ago. Heard Chelsea want ideally 2 more incomings again this week alongside Fofana.
Yeah.
Again, so dependent on Cho or Ziyech leaving. And I'm heard again. There's a report out there which talks about Ziyech moved to Ajax is back on, and apparently it is pretty close. Anybody on the panel wanted to say something?
Ismail Assar. I like that name, Ismail Assar from Watford.
Are we looking at him?
Yeah, he's on that list. Aubameyang, Gordon, Zaha, Sarr.
Okay. I didn't read the final. Oh, okay. Aubameyang, Gordon, Zaha, Sarr are the names of being pushed on right now. Wouldn't rule out another surprise name. Go ahead.
I'll definitely take Sarr for squad depth. Yeah, definitely. I think he will. Again, he's one of them direct winger. He reminds me of Mane. Not Mane at Southampton. A bit raw, a bit rough off the edge, but with better players around, better coaching, we could have a good player in there.
This comment right here says Zaha is more like Malouda. No. Zaha is more skillful.
Yeah, exactly.
You could say, I think the only thing they have in common is the spirit you see in Zaha. Maybe not really, because Malouda fights. Yeah, he fights always, again, fights in terms of his attitude on the pitch. I think maybe they have something similar like that. Zaha fights until the man in the middle blows away. Some people misunderstand Zaha's attitude on the pitch as, being too soft and complaining all the time. No, I think he fights. But do I think he hits the deck so easily sometimes? I think so. But that's, by the way, which we're still seeing. I think you could say that part of Manchester City hasn't left Raheem Sterling. He still hits the deck so quickly. He hasn't started playing in terms of not hitting the deck so easily as a Chelsea player. But that's, by the way, I get your argument there. Wilfred Zaha is not imminent. Chelsea have had contact with its agent, but not Crystal Palace. Priority remains Aubameyang at Fabrizio Romano. Okay, podcast, here we go. Thank you for that update there. And please go and subscribe to the sister channel, Soccer Perspective. And here's the link is provided there by the Queen of the House. It doesn't have a reading yet, but a lot of plans are in place. And like I've said before, if you want to be part of it, if you want your own show on Soccer Perspective, even if you haven't tried YouTube before, you're welcome. Even if you want to use it as practice to get ready for your own channel, come on, let's talk about it. That's, by the way, again, you asked us yesterday, Kachila, thus, yeah, I did. So thank you for that. Have you provided? Did I miss the answer you provided for me? Please let me know. Oh wow! So we're linked with Saw. Interesting one. I didn't even see it because I didn't read that part until Rodrigo reminded me to go look at it. We need a central defender and a midfielder. We'll see how many players would be able to get him by the time. Yeah, go ahead.
Tuchel actually in his press conference, I think he He didn't say directly. I think he was talking about how at the beginning he thought we had the numbers to do it, but now maybe it's an area that we might need to look into. If you listen to the press conference, the Southampton one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I didn't pay attention to that. Sorry, Mr. Troublemaker says we are being linked with with everyone. I don't believe it anymore. Yep. Again, you'd be doing yourself a huge favor if you don't believe on anything, those rumors
Did
until
they
it
just
happens.
realize that now at the end of the window?
That what? Sorry.
Did they just realize that now at the end of the
Yeah.
window? That we're linked to everyone?
Maybe, yeah.
I guess.
Maybe he's just working about whenever you wake up is your morning.
Must be their first radio.
Oh my goodness. Barcelona are optimistic about selling Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang transfer to Chelsea ceiling, so to speak. There have been new contacts today via Juan Mati. Again, I still think that's one transfer out there I still think will happen. The brown envelopes. Yeah, I know where that language is from. It's from my friend's channel, Johnny from CFC. Oh shoot. Okay, that's by the way, Chelsea. Tony, again, let me see what else we have here. It was just above my last comment. Let me see the answer you give me. You said you asked coach, and this one, where is it? I'm looking for it. I hope I see it. There's just a few things. Maybe if you can put it again, I'll read it because I had to skip quite a few to catch up because we're nearing the end of the show again. I can't find it. Kimster says today, but Aubameyang got robbed yesterday. He's not in the right frame of mind. I feel for him. I don't think it'd be again in his own. Again, the personal terms we heard had the club, both parties, his camp and the Chelsea camp, have agreed on have an agreement in place in terms of personal terms. So if we're talking to anybody, it has to be Barcelona. Based on my analysis of Chelsea thus far, we are in big trouble if we don't bring in. You're talking about the striker. What does he stand for? You're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. Idrissa Gana Gueye is available. And he played under Thomas Tuchel, didn't he? So I hope he's a player. If we get him, I like him. Raheem 13 goals plus 6 assists, equal to 19 and 30 game. Mason Mount 11 plus 10 assists, equal to 21 in 32 games EPL. Okay, thank you for providing that statistics. Based on my analysis of Chelsea, we need to bring in a clinical striker and more productive wingers if we are going to be. If not, where did I stop? Okay, again, that's by the way I try my best. Coach, have you been to London stopovers? Chelsea games I've watched are all in the United States, and I stopped over at the airport and I didn't even get into the city. But that changes now. I'd make plans to make sure whenever I'm traveling and I'm stopping over there, I have to watch a game. Chelsea should buy St. Maximin from Newcastle. He is a real winger. Okay, I'm not sure going to go into the argument whether he's a player I like or not. There's a chance if he comes to Chelsea, surrounded by better, crop of players, he do well at Chelsea. But the truth is, Newcastle, they're a big club now. I don't think they'd sell him to Chelsea. So just forget about him. Again, let's see what we have here. This is why they are trying to make the young take a pay cut. We are looking at to sign up fullbacks. And again, okay, now I get it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I predict the goalkeeper tomorrow. I'm not. he just wants to get us stuck in, and I'm not going to get into that. The goalkeeper tomorrow remains Mendy. Yeah, he was beaten, from the near post. Yeah, but that's by the way. He also did make some huge saves, which backs the argument of those who thinks that he's not going to get dropped. But that's by the way. I get your argument, though. I don't think that happens. Go ahead, Rodrigo. You sound like you wanted to say something.
No. No, go to the next comment. Hello?
Hello? Do we lose coach?
I think he's on mute.
Mute coachy.
Yeah, he's definitely on mute.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
No, we couldn't hear
we
you.
can.
On mute. You're on mute.
Oh, I muted myself and I was asking you, do you have anything else to say?
No. I was telling you now. Go to the next comment. No.
Okay, let's move on. Again, Mendy definitely starts tomorrow. I don't see that changing, except if it's a cup game, you could argue maybe starts. This is me. I'm still stuck in Aubameyang. Let me refresh it to see if anything changes there. And it's just not me. Again, not just me. I know others are still stuck in him. Let's get out from the dark
Why do you
screen
think
until
Fofana all the way to America? Why is this? Why is this I'm hearing? Fofana doing his medical in America.
Yeah, to complete some part of it, he has to get that done in America again. But that's by the way. Sorry.
Didn't Sterling have his medical in America?
Yeah, but Cucurella didn't.
Yeah, I know. Is it something to do with...
Part of it. I heard the majority of it has been, again, there's two parts to it. I don't know the structure of the medical thing. I'm not sure. But I'm hearing he's in the United States to complete the medical, so I'm not sure. Yeah. And here says again, if you are happy with Ismail Assar, then a top four is not a priority. Wow. Wow, Mr. Troublemaker, that's a bold comment. As a man said, Mendy kicked the ball to a Leicester player, leading it to a goal. Again, I think if you follow this channel long enough, you know my argument regarding Mendy. But that's an argument I don't want to get into right now. I don't have the energy to fight the Glad on that one. Again, are you awake, Kachila? I'm awake. That's probably because I was on mute and was going, and yeah, I'm awake. Okay, thank you. Todd don't trust a Chelsea medical staff. I say no, I don't think that's the case. Again, Aubameyang still no issues on player side. Negotiations are still ongoing between clubs. It wasn't close to be agreed last week. It's not off today. Again, okay, thank you very much for that update there, Julius Esamano. No, Starling had his medical in London. Only the announcement of signing in America. Yep, that's the truth. I think it was even Koulibaly's. Was it Koulibaly who did the medical in the United States? I don't remember. Anybody? Mr. Troublemaker.
No one did in America. They all did in the UK actually. They just flew there to join up with preseason.
Oh, okay. So let me see. Just quickly here. Let me see an update. I'm looking at here. Just quickly, let me just take that time to give Dan a minute. Dan, we're actually close to the end of the show, about 4 or 5 minutes. But go ahead, you say whatever you want to say, so that we can move on.
All right, guys. Hello, panel. Big up to you lot.
Big up to you too, Dan.
I was just late. I just got back from the shops. Bought my kids their new Chelsea shirt and that with Fofana on the back of it. So that's definitely
awesome. Oh, are we selling his shirts already?
Oh. Well, no, you could get it printed off.
Okay, you customize. You can tell them to add a particular name. Was that what you did? Okay.
To put a random number one, but I put number one for Fofana number one.
Okay.
So so the kids are happy. They got the new Chelsea kits. And
congratulations to them.
Just discussing about Aubameyang. There's news reports from the Sky. I've been listening to the Sky transfer market, the Sky on Sky Sport. They reckon that Chelsea's still interested in Aubameyang, coach, and they're going to try to figure out sort of kind of weigh this out still. But hopefully, if we can get that done, deal. But if not, I think we should get Ronaldo just for one season. I hope if we could get Cristiano Ronaldo for this one season. I think we'll get some more goals in us if we don't get Aubameyang, because it's hard. It's hard because you can see Sterling can't always finish goals. Like, it's fair enough, he scored 2 goals this weekend, and he's did well. But we can't keep on relying on Raheem Sterling to score goals for this season. So we need to improve so we get another false attacker into our into our formation for the season. And if we can't get Aubameyang, then I think Chelsea should just go for Cristiano Ronaldo for one season till next season when we like say the likes of Nkaku for RP Leipzig and other players. If we can't get Aubameyang, but hopefully this Aubameyang deal will get done and sorted as soon as possible, because what's happened to him? What's happened to him yesterday when he got attacked by four players and that. Sorry, my little boy's in the background shouting me.
Okay, go take care of him. We're actually close to the end of the show. Family first, man. Go take care of him, bro.
Coach, but just quickly on the Aubameyang thing. What happened to him yesterday? Yeah, it was bad, but hopefully we can get this lineup done over the deal with Aubameyang. Hopefully till tomorrow. If not, then go for Cristiano Ronaldo and Zaha. So that's what I say. So.
You go answer your armies, bro. Go take care of them. But I appreciate you finding time to join, even though we're close about 3 minutes to end the show.
I'll join if there's any space tomorrow. Can I join tomorrow? I'm gonna go.
Okay, no problem, bro. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And then say hello to your family for me. I appreciate you finding time to join. Why did Tabali visit Barcelona early on again in the transfer window? I think we will analyze that by the time the transfer window shuts. I cannot say anything further about that. Koulibaly had his medical in London too. Okay, thank you very much for clarifying that. A new update. I will look at it in a bit. Julius Sauce's negotiation going FC again. Yep, I kept that. Club medical depth don't do the medicals. Okay, club medicals department don't do. The medicals. Okay, understood. Gunremi Joshua and Niger brother says here, if Chelsea can go for another player before transfer market ends, it will be better than Zaha. We are pulling right now. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Julius, some negotiations remain ongoing between Barcelona and Chelsea. Okay, thank you for that update. Again, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. We don't have the time to read everything we have there. Now, again, like I said, this is me stalking Aubameyang. This is the description is only a football emoji. This one just says Auba. Again, like I said a few days ago, he had international player for Gabon, which means again he's ready to change it to something else. That's the chance he changes it back to player for Barcelona FC or FC Barcelona if he remains, or maybe to Chelsea or Man United. You don't know, but don't hold your breath thinking that this is a sign he comes to Chelsea Football Club. But this simply shows something is going on. And we have this update here. Thank you for sharing that. Liam Lane, again, apologies. Says about Aubameyang, there were no issues on player side. Like I mentioned that before. I think that's an agreement but regarding personal terms in place. So the rumors that the length of the contract is an issue, this just debunks that. This sentence here that says no issues on the players' side. That's part of this sentence, part of this whole tweet. This part of this whole tweet debunks the rumors that we have an issue given the length of the contract. And then again, it says negotiations are still ongoing between clubs. It wasn't a close, to being agreed last week. It's not off today. Again, important meeting will take place in the next 24 hours to decide how to proceed. Chelsea insisting to include Alonso, but we're hearing Barcelona they want a separate deal. But that's, by the way, again, we've read that one. But here's one I like here. And if Duncan Castle, again, if he talks about that, I believe it to something. Do I think it will happen? There's a chance. I can never say never. Again, Chelsea are working on the transfer of Rafael Leao. The money will be available. Money won't be the issue. Anybody else want to talk about this one here?
I still don't know. The money is gonna. I know it's not gonna be an issue, but there's only a few days left, and this deal, from what I remember, it looks like it's a very complex. That includes certain a court of arbitration case as well. I don't know. Maybe they will sort that out in a few days, but it's a very complicated deal. This is a one to watch for the future. I don't think
the court of arbitration thing. What's it about?
So I think when he was in Portugal, leaving Portugal, going to Lille, I think he owes one of his club. Like, I think the way he left the club wasn't in the right way. So I need to read more on that. But there's definitely an issue of him when he left that club to go to Lille.
Declare, are you acquainted with the situation?
Am I what? Sorry.
No, with the court of arbitration issue that Rafael Leao he has, the Rodrigo thinks it will makes the Chelsea signing the player a complicated situation.
I wasn't aware of that issue.
Yeah,
But,
somebody has sent me a link to it, but I haven't paid much attention to it. My plan was to discuss it on Soccer Perspective, but yeah, now it's coming up. I think I think he has a pending case, but I think if we're serious to secure his signature, I think that wouldn't be a stumbling block. I think we'll find a solution to it. And again, I'm not concerned about how many days we have. We still have more than about 3 days plus some hours in the transfer window. To me, I think signing him won't be an issue. Even that court issue won't. If we really want him, we'd get him. We've seen a situation where we only heard about Chelsea's interest in a certain players when we have just a day left or 2 days left for the transfer window to close, and we were able to get the deals across the line. So I'm not really concerned. And do I want Leao at Chelsea? I do want Leao at Chelsea, and I hope that happens. But unfortunately, like I said, I really want us to talk about the Leao situation with the court of arbitration and all that on a Soccer Perspective. But maybe we'll talk about the situation here another day. But that's, by the way, coming back to the panel, Bobby, your thoughts on everything we talked about. I don't want to say final thoughts. I know how that triggers. Yeah, that triggers Rodrigo. So, Bobby, if you're there, your thoughts on everything we talked about. Yeah, Bobby's using his device and it takes a while to unmute it. So that's understandable. Declared, you can go ahead.
Just to add with the Rafael Leao as well, I mean, that's a hard one to pull off unless we have built negotiations throughout the transfer window. And
you remember, Bali has had series of meetings with Jorge Mendes.
Yeah, and maybe that's true. It would be interesting. It would be a big one to pull off on the last day. Well, what's now? Well, they've got a few days left, so
3 days.
It's going to be a great. I got a feeling it might be a good finish. I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually going to keep. I'm actually not even that focused at the moment. I think I'm just going to really look at it at deadline day. I don't think anything will happen till deadline day, so I can't wait for that. And then we know who's in the team, because even now, I don't even know who's in the team. Like, is Alonso going or not? I already count that Alonso is gone.
He's training with under 23s, we were told. I think Barca still want him.
Yeah, so something has to give it there too. I think with Ziyech as well. And there's a lot of our young players that didn't get numbers that have to get loaned off too. So I think Chelsea's name is going to be pretty active in the next couple of days, especially deadline day. So I can't wait to see. I think there's going to be a lot of action, and then I can't wait for the window to actually close, and then we can say this is our team, and we don't have to talk about a whole bunch of nonsense that is in the media, and we can focus on players. Or I think it's going to take like a couple of weeks after the transfer window to really find our probably best 11.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting times, I think.
Yeah, Gerard Romero saying Alonso to Barca. I think I've started to trust Romero. He seemed to have an insider, he seemed to have a connection to the Yeah. He's been very correct. Thank you very much for that, Esomano. Ken, how about you, Rodrigo? Your thoughts? I'm not going to say your final thoughts on everything we talked about.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel like we need. I know Tuchel maybe alluded to it today. We need to sign a midfielder. I want Ruben Neves. We need the right wing back. We see look how nice it is to have a left wing back who's really good, and we're not worried about rushing Ben Chilwell back. Now on the other side, this is probably, I think, having Fofana in the team will really relieve Rich James to he's not gonna have to play so many games, so that will be good. So we'll have Fofana and maybe what's his name, Ruben. Maybe Ruben, it just has to be that wing back wing back replacement that I still think we need to sign one player there, and then we need to get a new forward player. So Aubameyang, I don't know the state of mind he's in now. I don't know if the beating was bad. Hopefully, no. Hopefully, he's still physically fit. So even if we sign him, he can pass his medical.
Yes, sir. Hopefully, it didn't beat the ghost out of him.
No,
That's practically what you're saying. No, I hope it's fine. On a more serious note, I hope it's fine.
Oh yeah, I hope it's fine. Yeah, and I hope we can conclude the deal in the next. Because it looks like the club doesn't see, like from the tweet, it looks like the personal terms is now really a big issue. So who am I to complain if Chelsea give him a 3-year contract? I mean, at the end of the day, there are smart people working in the Chelsea finance department, and if they think the club can afford it, then let's do it. Let's get him on board. And if there's anything in the Zaha or even Ismail Assar deals, I think we should get on them, because I'm worried that our attack now, we don't have. You see, look, everyone keeps saying we need to drop Mount. We don't actually have enough players to drop Mount for. We can't rotate him now. Yeah, because we couldn't play Gallagher in his position, since Gallagher was needed in the pivot. I know he's not a double pivot player, but because of injuries, Gallagher had to play in there. So we don't have anyone to even rotate Mount with as it stands. So let's get few attackers. And I'm actually impressed with how we play in the last game. I can see we're gonna give a lot of teams a lot of problems in this season. Mark my words. I'm not gonna say we're gonna win the league, but we're gonna give teams a lot of problems.
Yeah, again, thank you very much for that. Again, any updates on Ryan? I was told the Z is silent.
Zacharian.
Yeah, Zion. Okay, again, the last thing we heard is that the deal is close. We're serious about it. We'll get that one over the line, I believe. So again, don't hold your breath on what I told you.
I think we'll see. He's Russian. I think he's Russian and Armenian.
No, he's originally Albanian. I heard
Armenian,
so to speak. But that's, by the way, I think we'll get that one across the line. And I hate to talk about the politics of aspect of the whole thing. I think we've left again the footballing world. We've let our guards down, and politics is seriously encroaching into the sports we all love that much. It's becoming annoying. I hate to talk about the visa nonsense I'm here seeing out there. He'd have to change his nationality to get UK work permit and all that nonsense. But I'm not going to get into that now. But that's, by the way, again, he is Forster material. Some are saying that he stays on loan. And I'd rather, if we don't have space for him right now in the team, as much as we need a player of his profile, given his passing ability, if we don't have space, let him stay there where he plays first team senior football, not bring him and then send him to the academy or out on loan where his development will not be guaranteed. Our formation is a 4-2-2-2. I think so. To some people think it was a 4-3-3, but I don't know. It's not going to be constant. I think Thomas Tuchel will switch up things quite a lot. That's, by the way, Bobby, I don't know if you're close by. If not, we've come to the natural end of the show. And I want to say thank you to all the panelists for finding the time to join. I cannot thank you guys enough. Again, you guys are absolute legend. And to those in the chat, I want to say thank you to you. You can say the Twitter handle for Declare, the Bobby Smoky Signals. If you search that, you'll find him. If you search Rodrigo, you see that I follow him to something as Declare. Again, one key point is to see that I follow, that Chelsea Perspective follows him. That will make you know you're looking at the right Twitter profile. Something as Bobby, you'd see that I follow him too. That will make you understand you're looking at the right profile Twitter account. Again, but that's why I want to say thank you to everyone who's found the time to be part of today's show. And Quads, because I haven't said hello to you, he said I watched a bit of Ryan, I don't know how to pronounce it, in his latest game, he didn't show too much, but it could have been an off day, or maybe because you went into the game making sure, expecting him to have a perfect game, and then he didn't. Because the truth remains so much. In most cases, when you expect so much of an individual, or player, or anybody, you get disappointed because your expectations probably are way beyond what that person can actually deliver. Again, a big up to you guys, big up to you too. Love you too, brother. Gunyemi, Joshua, nice to join. And to the Queen of the House, thank you for finding the time to join, to keep things clean here. To all the moderators, Kimso, I appreciate you finding the time to join. Who was Jamport Entertainment, Vikas, Evan, thank you. Liam Lane, again, where are you? Again, I can't seem to find your comment here. Just to say thank you. Coach Chris, thank you. Joe the Boy, thank you. Where's Liam's last comment? It's hard to find. Liam, thank you very much for finding the time to join and also helping keep the house clean. Thank you. Mad, thank you to SMNO for all the great contributions. With that, we've come to the end of the show, and I want to say thank you. See you guys later on. If you have a show later in the day, you be aware of it because I've scheduled it earlier. If not, see you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.
Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse song. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off, I'ma break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they drag the chains, you can say no, free me. Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me.
Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess. What's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep